Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of the Omniverse Chronicles iHunt. Before we get started, we do want to take a moment to first say thank you for joining us. This is something that just kind of started as originally a one-shot experiment idea, and we got so many wonderful applications that we decided to turn it into something that is now going to be a full year. So thank you for joining us here every Monday. As a reminder, if you're not able to join us, you can always check our YouTube page on Thursdays to see the episode from the previous week. We are generating those, and then you can also find there some of our playthroughs of different games, a couple of our Q&As and things like that. Also, last Wednesday, we passed 500,000 downloads, and that is all because of you out there. So thank you so much for joining us every week. It means the world to us. We have so much fun doing this, and it's amazing that you all join us every week. So thank you for that. I think with that, I will hand it over to Mina.
Oh, me. Okay, yeah, that sounds like a
Oh,
good
now
plan.
you gotta go.
Oh, I gotta go. Crap. So hi. Welcome back to sunny San Gennaro, the imaginary city in California that is not Los Angeles. I don't know where you get that idea from. Um, and we are a group of gig workers who, rather than deliver groceries or drive cars, we hunt monsters, and we do it on an app called iHunt. That's the real quick pitch, right? And we've been through some stuff. We fought a demon.
Oh yeah.
We didn't fight a different demon. We killed a vampire. We saved a werewolf. We've caught some. We got worms. We fought some shambling dead.
It's always back to
And
worms.
now we are. Yeah, no, it isn't. And now we're in the middle of potentially saving a leprechaun from a bitter ex. I feel like is about where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we spring in media res, would y'all like to tell me what your selfies are from last week?
Sure. I think mine is what I think I called "away with words," not a way with words, but away with words, because meeting new people is hard. So that was the flashback of trying to over-explain, trying to help, and it just doesn't go well for me.
Perfect.
My
Who wants to go
selfie
next?
was when we were right outside of the shoe store and we saw some mushrooms in a fairy ring, and they gave us visions. And my vision was becoming one body, one spirit with Megan, which is really just everything that I've always wanted. And so my selfie was just me cuddling Megan, and it says "Work Wives."
Nice.
Mine was from all of the different NPCs I got to kind of talk to and make a connection with. Kind of the opposite of Tass, of Tass's selfie this week, of being able to just meet new people and connect with them and get the information that I was looking for. And I think it was a selfie with I believe his name was Ben. I want to say
Yes.
the director.
It was Ben. That's right.
The videographer that had kind of suggested that the person who hired us helped kind of her get into this idea of starting a lifestyle vlog, and I had just had a really great conversation with him and learned some good information. So it's us taking a selfie at his shoot, and I called it a people pleaser, I think.
Perfect.
And mine was a selfie with Kim and Megan in the background approaching those mushrooms. Because at first they were like, "Oh, you're just messing with us." I'm like, "No, seriously, like you need to do this." And so mine is called Method to the Madness. That like I am not asking people to do things that I think are risky. Like I'm only asking you if I think there's a really good reason to do it.
Very, very good. All right. So that kind of leads us into the moment. But actually, before I spring in there, one more thing. With these selfies, we call them big fucking deals because it's a little bit of growth is shown as we've reached this arc. So can you guys tell me, I think y'all bumped up your skill sets. Can you tell me what skill set you bumped it up and what did you bump it to?
Sure. I bumped up my fight. I think through all of this, I've realized how much more dangerous it is overall. So I think that kind of needed to increase. So it went from a 1 to a 2.
Very nice. So now no more werewolves will be burying you in the sand.
I sure hope not.
I bumped my occultist from a 2 to a 3, just
Nice.
because the magic has been coming in clutch.
Nice. Very good. Okay.
I bumped my investigator from a 1 to a 2.
Very good.
We've
Nice.
been doing a lot of cluing for looks.
Right.
Mm.
What we call on-the-job training, right?
Yeah.
You know, I initially bumped my fight, but I think in light of what happened to me last episode, I have to bump Survivor. I was bit by I almost became undead, and I managed to avoid that. So I think I deserve to move my Survivor from a +2 to a +3.
Good call.
Very good. And I want to say that when you increase your survivor or your athlete, your equivalent track goes up. So now you're a little more mentally fortitude-ish. That's not a word. But now
sure.
you are that, whatever the word is.
Nice.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to suggest that we look at the new the board. And we are back on the streets of a lovely shopping center in Palo Vista, San Gennaro. We were in the shoe shop with the leprechaun where he was fixing someone's Nikes when a sudden storm darkened the skies to a dull silver, and lightning is striking, and it looks as though the lightning is specifically striking this network of mushrooms, this ring of mushrooms that has sprung up around this particular block in the shopping district. And it is taking out those mushrooms quite handily. You know, you can almost feel their sudden magical presence split and die. It's a bad scene. So originally, we called this a quiet afternoon. And is it going to work with me today? Yeah. But we're going to change it from a quiet afternoon to now a terrible storm. There is a terrible storm out in and about, and it is threatening you. At this point, as the windows shatter in, and you realize that there's, whomever it is definitely coming for you. You can hear outside booming with as if with a microphone, but actually it's just magic. All right, Ewan, we've had enough playing. Time to come along.
So the last thing that I said to him was to run. What is he currently doing?
He is sticking shoes into a backpack as fast as he can and looking for the emergency exit.
Okay. Do we want to try to distract her? Do we just run with him?
Should we just try to get in my car and leave? What should we do?
She said human. Is she convinced that he is human?
She said Ewan, darling.
Ewan.
Oh, Ewan. I'm gonna go.
No, come back. We need you. Come back.
Oh no.
Come back. It's very stressful.
Let me just crank this volume a little bit. Here we go.
Yeah, I want to ask him. What do the mushrooms do? Why is she destroying them?
I don't know. They're just a thing that happened. This is the tall, well-built, big bushy beard Irishman, and he shakes his head. I don't know. They just kind of happen if you stay in a place long enough. It's a fairy circle. They're very normal. I guess they protect me.
Okay,
well, they would.
That's an important detail.
Yeah. I forget what you don't know,
Okay, well, she's destroying them really, really quickly. So, do you have a safe place that we could go? I mean, we could take you back to our place, but I don't know how good of an idea that is.
I feel like she'd follow us wherever we go.
Yeah.
I mean, we did our job, right? Could we just go talk to her and ask for payment?
Just come out there and get her money.
As a distraction, and he can leave. And I mean, we think that she tracked us with the necklace, right? We still have that. So if we distract her long enough and he can get away and we get paid.
Boy, we can try, but I mean, if she's mad about this, this is a fair fight. We will not survive this day.
No, we were not prepared to deal with a sorceress. We weren't even prepared to deal with a leprechaun. You know, we just wanted to talk to you. We weren't going to fight you. We don't have anything with us.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's basically a human. She's just a human with terrible magical powers.
Okay. Do humans have weaknesses? Wait.
Look
No.
inward.
I have some ideas suddenly.
Look inward. Oh no.
Tass, why don't you give me like a how about an occult roll?
Okay. My dice fell, so I have to pick them up. Come back.
We're all very
Everything's great.
professional,
This
on
is-
top of things.
This
It's
is going great so far.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
Can we get someone in chat to share that photo of him asleep against the wall 20 minutes ago?
All right, here we go. In which what would be the best for this? What did we say?
A cult, baby.
Just a cult? Okay.
Occultist.
Let's see. Not terrible. 4.
4, that's very good. I'm going to give you a little clue, and if you want to use this as an aspect or you want to use your know stuff to pull this up if you'd like, the number one rule amongst iHunters when it comes to dealing with sorcerers is if they can't talk, they can't cast.
Oh. Uh-huh.
Generally speaking, this translates into punch him in the jaw as fast as possible, but some people are more clever with this piece of information.
Yeah, I think I'm blurting that out. I'm trying to. I would like to use that.
Would you like to make that your know stuff stunt for your
I think
Elena?
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's on your board. It's you can use it as you like.
Okay. Spells. I mean, she has to say stuff. If she's going to do anything, if we can stop her from saying the stuff isn't stuff.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So, like, hit her in the face or, like, offer her a delicious sandwich? Or what are we talking about here?
I'd
think
like
big
all of this.
balloon
Peanut butter
down.
sandwich.
Somebody frisbee a Reuben into her mouth while someone else is hitting her with a left hook. I mean, whatever we can do.
I wonder how close she is, because maybe if we can like agitate the mushrooms close enough to her, we can like have her have a weird hallucination like we had. I don't know if it would get her to stop talking, but at least she wouldn't be able to like see what she was doing.
I mean, that certainly like
Probably.
floored us all for a minute. That would like get her to the ground because right now she's outside like flying around, throwing lightning, right? Or not throwing lightning, but doing something to destroy these.
Mhm.
Have we actually seen her? We just heard her voice and there's a storm.
Yeah, you've heard her voice and there's a storm and the windows are broken in.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the door and like peek out and see if I can spot her.
Okay. She is standing out just in the middle of the street out front of the store. It looks like she's not coming in because it's not dramatically appropriate yet. She is wearing a white, like perfectly fitted pantsuit. And while it's storming terribly all around her, she is not wet. It's as if the rain is avoiding her because that looks cool. And probably only because it looks cool.
How close is she to any mushrooms, or is she?
Let's say she's within 3 feet of one.
I could turn back. Okay, she's out there. There's a mushroom. I think I could maybe like get the dust on her, and then one of you go punch her in the face.
Okay. Oh, I
Yeah?
would love to. I'd love to punch her in the face.
Oh, I bet you would. Okay. Yeah. So I want to try to do a wield force to try to like Kamehameha one of these mushrooms and get the dust to hit her.
I love it. Give me a roll.
Okay. I think it's gonna be a cultist
Okay, that makes sense.
because magic.
Because magic.
That would be a 6.
That would be a 6. That is a very, very good
Way
roll.
to go.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm gonna call that an attack roll effectively, but you're kind
Okay.
of attacking the mushroom. It'll be fine. So yeah, you like send out a jolt of your magic juice that made more sense before I said it out loud. And you kind of like hit the mushroom like right at the base where its little face is, and the top of the mushroom kind of flies off and like it buffets her, it hits her, and with it a cloud of gross purple yellow stuff fills the air, not dampened by the rain because she was too prideful to have the rain falling on her. And she kind of like she shakes her head a minute, and then her eyes open again, and they like flash like red for just a second, and she starts walking towards the door.
Oh, okay. Do we have any weapons? Did we bring any weapons?
I
There's a
have
lot
to
of
admit, for a
shoes.
second, I forgot that they had faces, and so it delighted me all over again.
No, I don't think so, but we could probably put something together with the stuff that we have in here.
Do it really quickly. Really something super quickly.
Okay, give me.
Oh boy.
Is this also a shoe store, or
Yes,
do they?
it's primarily a shoe store with a little shoe bench.
I
in the
am
corner.
looking for the biggest pair of combat boots I can find.
Yeah, you can find some docks. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna hand one to Kim and hold the other. Hit her with the heel.
Actually, okay. So I want to try to make a weapon here for Kim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I want to do is I want to go. Okay. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna take. I'm gonna go over to like one of like shoe stores. They have like the metal racks, right? Everything's laid out. All the shoes are on. I want to pull off a part of this, like the metal like siding of this rack. I want to get a bunch of stilettos and face them all inward so that the heels are facing out. And then I'm going to get a bunch of laces and fasten them around the center. So it's like a mace with like stilettos like pointing out the outside.
Now, you have
my
some
God.
experience turning shoes into weapons, don't you?
Yes.
I think you should call back to that selfie.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I will definitely call back to one of the other times that I've done this.
Remember the last time you weaponized shoes?
I love it. Okay, give me a create advantage, and you're going to use your maker, and don't forget to add the +2 from that selfie.
Add the +2. Okay. So, great. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Okay. So, not a good roll, but I got a lot of good stuff. So, oh man, I'm so scared. I can't math.
You got this. You got this. Don't worry.
Okay, so 1, 2. Wait, hold on.
Oh my God.
My brain is so bad tonight. Okay, hold on. So I rolled.
You're gonna turn into Clue. 1 + 2 + 2 + 1.
Tass.
Okay.
How many pluses do you have?
Okay. So
Oh, we broke her.
We broke her.
Sorry. I swear, just 1 second. Okay.
Mhm.
So I rolled a 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is my roll.
4. Okay,
Good.
That's very good. So that's at least one call. So you can go ahead on the gem board if you want to throw up a selfie or a sticky for that weapon and put 1 invoke on it, and anybody can grab on that, particularly Kim,
I would love
who's
to.
going to wield it. Yeah.
All right, then I think I'm taking this stiletto mace, and I just want to run towards her before she can get to the shoe store, and I just want to hit her in her perfect face.
All right. Very, very good. So then go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Okay.
God, the vitriol from that.
Mhm.
It's palpable.
And I'm going to invoke the aspect of the shoe mace.
Of course.
So that's going to be a 5.
A 5. Very, very nice. Okay, so you go running at her. You know, you have the shoe mace.
Mhm.
I want everybody at home to draw me art of what you think a shoe mace looks like. And
Oh, I'm making one after I go to Goodwill tomorrow.
good, perfect. And you whack her. I mean, you nail her right on, or well, You would have nailed her right on, but your shoe mace bounces off of an invisible force in front of her.
Oh no.
And she gives you a girl please look to end all girl pleases look.
Oh no.
No.
The three of us are just still in the shop with our heads stacked, sticking out like the Three Stooges. Oh, no.
I think I just
which-
I just start backing up rapidly towards the shoe store. She has armor. She's got mage armor. I don't know what's going on.
Would you like to roll defend action?
Yeah.
Okay, you can choose fighter, or I would say in this situation, occultist. It's up to you.
Okay. Oh, dropped one of my dice. A 3?
A 3. That's not a 0, which is a
Okay,
good thing.
That's good.
Okay, now she is a sorcerer, so that technically counts her as a monster, so she does have the edge in this situation.
Mhm.
Luckily, I cannot roll for my life depending on it. So, you got 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so that leaves you taking, please mitigate 3 harm, however you like.
Okay. Is this physical or mental stress, or can I choose?
You've been hit by lightning.
Oh shit. Okay. Well,
Oh.
Yeah. Now you can tell your friends you know what it feels like to be hit by lightning. It's not great.
Do I drop the shoe mace because I just got struck by lightning?
Wouldn't you tighten up on it?
Maybe.
Yeah, I would say if you failed your defense roll, then I would offer you that. But since
Okay.
you did not, you can.
Okay.
However, I'll say this: if you want to say that your character did, I will give you a fate point.
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay, all right. So please take an additional fate point for your character, and yeah, you are armless. The shoe mace is basically lost.
The sentences we get to say in this game.
I know, right? Oh,
I just heard you were
Christ.
armless, and I went, "Oh God, what did I miss?"
Unarmed, I guess is probably what I meant to say, but no. All right. And she is kind of, I mean, so you get hit, you zzz, and you kind of like drop to a knee or fall dramatically as you feel is appropriate.
Mhm.
And she kind of like steps over you to walk into the store.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Guys, I don't know how to hurt her. Get out! Get the fuck out! I don't know what to do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ewan looks at the three of you still in the store, like, kind of like tips his hat, like, hey, what are you going to do? And he books for the exit. Her head snaps in the direction of the exit and the door is gone. And she looks back at him and he kind of like looks at her and like puts his back against the wall. Like, what am I going to do at this point?
Ewan, if you know anything, now would be a great time to speak up.
I know lots of things. Do you know what size your shoe is? I could tell you a lot about your personality based on the size of your... Shut it, she says. Enough. You did a good job finding out that he is in fact a leprechaun. Great.
I was gonna say that is the case, and we have the necklace for him. So do you just hit the payment button now? Does that...
If you leave, I will pay you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Ewan's like, look, you got me. I'm trapped, okay? There's nowhere I can run. There's nowhere I can go. I'm trapped. You get your fucking wishes. Are you happy? And she folds her arms and she's like, yeah, actually I am. You know what? Why don't you four stick around? I will show you what power looks like. I am going to make 3 wishes right here, right in front of everyone.
Oh no.
Okay. Ewan passes a look to Rev. It's very brief, but it's very much he thinks you should know something about this situation. And then he glances back at her and says, fine, what are your wishes?
He thinks I should know something about this situation. Huh, huh, huh. That's what's happening inside my brain.
Right.
Tell her to wish him free.
Infinite wishes.
Gosh, can I sorry, I'm forgetting my my things that I had last week.
Hmm.
What was the leprechaun, or I'm sorry, the lore that we found? Does anybody remember the lore tag we had? I was trying to think if there was something I could roll to see if there's information that I know about a leprechaun's wishes.
My
You
notes say solitary, fair folk, 3 wishes. That's it. Does not help at all, unfortunately.
I did
But
not.
that said, you can give me an occult roll and we can
Okay.
figure something out.
Yeah. 3. But I will say 5. I'm gonna spend a fate point. Because like the fact that he looked at me and said that, I think it invokes like a boss, like this moment of,
Oh, yeah.
oh, I should know this. Okay, what is it?
I don't know. It's just one of those vibes. Wishes. Wishes. This is a very powerful, very egotistical person that you're dealing with. And they're going to make wishes.
Uh-huh.
How's that usually go in the stories?
It's usually like exactly what you say.
Mhm.
It ignores the intent.
Hmm.
And so as she is like saying this, you're gonna sit here and watch. I'm just gonna start talking. Like, what do you think that you're gonna wish for? Like, have you thought about these? Is it like a big thing that you've got a list of wishes? Like, what kind of wishes do you think? Like, did you have different wishes if you caught him now, or like, is this related to your job? Like, just rambling to her.
Okay. All right. So why don't you give me an attack action, but it's going to be social. Kind
Okay.
of go at her ego here.
Two.
Two. Okay. Oh boy, I'm very good at rolling. Okay, so that does stress her out just a little bit. She glances over and she's like, "Why are you asking me all of these questions? It's ridiculous. I have a really great wish. I'm going to wish for
Like I wish if I had wishes, it would be like, oh God, I wish I had like more time to think of my wishes, or like, oh, I wish that like that's not the actual wish that I would wish, but like I would wish that in my head, not the actual wish to the person granting the wishes, and like trying to just say the word wish in as many double talky ways as possible.
right. Yeah. No, I mean, obviously, I need more time. Yeah, that of course, right?
Yeah.
Can you guys? Why don't you give me like let's do a group roll to convince her to make a wish for more time.
Okay.
So we're going to pick one of you is going to anchor the roll, and the others are going to make rolls. And if you roll, it's a +1 to that other person's roll. So who's going to anchor? This is a grifter roll. Definitely a strong grifter roll.
I think I could do it.
Okay.
I think you can too.
Yes.
So everybody else, give me some kind of roll to influence. Like, show me what you're doing in this situation to assist Megan in convincing this lady to wish for more time or something like that.
Okay.
This might be also grifter, but I think everything that she's saying, I'm just very broadly like cringing at it. Like, it doesn't matter if it's kind of what we want her to do or not. I'm just like, oh, and just making her question, kind of what everything she thinks she's certain of.
Fantastic. Very, very good. So why don't you go ahead and give me, that grifter roll sounds good.
Okay. Also not horrible. 3.
3 is good enough. That's a +1 to Megan's roll.
Woo! Okay.
Who else is making the scene tenser?
I think I'm gonna do occultist. Like I'm gonna just start spouting like wish lore at her. Like, oh, when
Yeah.
you do it with this, when you do it with this
Love it.
in the movie. A 3.
Okay, that's 1 more plus for Megan. Very good.
Yeah, I think I'm just walking up and just supporting Megan on this and just being like, yeah, I mean, like, what kind of wishes are we even dealing with here? Like, there are so many movies about wishing for something and then it going like so wrong. You have to word it so carefully and like, I think this would probably also be a occultist.
Okay.
Ooh, that's good. That is that's a 3.
That's a 3. All right, that's another +1. So, okay, you are working with a +3 from your comrades helping you out and freaking this lady out, messing with her head.
Okay, yeah, and then I think I'm kind of doing the opposite at this point. They've all cast a lot of doubt in her head, and now I want to try and solidify that the way she's going is the right way to go.
Perfect. Very good.
So yeah, I'm just like, yeah, that makes sense. You're right. You should ask for more time. I mean, why not? Why not make it the easiest that you can? I mean, yeah, this is a really good idea. You are really good at this. I knew obviously you were pretty powerful, but I just thought in like a fame and like money kind of way, but like literal power. Like this is unbelievable. I'm very impressed. And then six.
Nice.
Very, very good. Okay, so that's with style. So I'm comfortable saying that you have convinced her pretty firmly. And she's like, fine, right. I get it. Of course. I've got this. I wish I had more time to pick my other wishes. And you guys kind of like get a chill and you look over in the direction of where Ewan was still kind of like leaning on the wall, and he leans down, like his chin tucks down and his eyes lift up. And he says, granted. And like your spine shakes inside of your back as he says it. And she tilts her head like she's feeling something, but she doesn't know what. And then she's like, oh, you son of a, and like before she can finish cursing, she shortens and her skin smooths and her natural hair color comes back and she gets shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter until there is a very sad toddler sitting on the ground kind of crying.
Oh, she can't pay us probably now.
You don't have a phone, right? You can do all of that from your phone.
Oh, yeah.
You can all do that from her phone.
Yeah, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Does she still
Oh,
have
good
it?
call.
Do I
Will
see her phone?
fingerprint still scan the right way?
Oh, she doesn't have it locked. Why would she have it locked? That'd be ridiculous.
Ewan, that was dope. That was so good.
Oh my
He
gosh.
shrugs. I don't know why people keep messing with leprechauns. We always give them the same fucking end deal.
Does she still
Nobody
have
ever
2 more
fucking listens.
wishes?
Yeah, probably. Honestly, I'll just take her back to a circle and get her adopted back with some, changeling family or something. She'll be fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna kill her.
Okay.
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 What should we
And
do?
the good news is if she makes more wishes, like it'll probably be like a toddler's wishes. Like, oh, I wish my bedtime was later or something.
At the very least, she'd probably have to spend 1 to get back to the age she was. So
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, like does
If
she
sh-
remember? Yeah, that's a whole other
That's
thing.
getting down a pretty dark.
She does
Those
not
are-
seem to be really cognizant of what's going on. It's just a very upset, kind of scared toddler crying right now.
Yeah.
in a fashionable pantsuit.
Well, what's left of it, yeah.
Do you want us to hold on to the necklace, or I don't know what to do
Oh,
with
yeah,
it?
please.
Okay.
Get
Yeah.
rid of it. I don't want to have anything to do with it just in case.
Absolutely. Better to be safe.
Look, I can't pay you whatever she was going to pay you, but I could offer you as a group one wish. No tricks.
Oh,
Oh.
No tricks.
do we ask for more time?
No.
Boy.
Oh, do we have to decide right now, Ewan?
No, why don't I give you my number?
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
It was. It's so hard. I'm not doing it. It's so hard not to ask for Megan to be an actual Muppet. It's so hard. Like a living, real.
I think we have to have a system that
it
if one of
hurts.
us has a perspective wish, we've got to run it by the other three first.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because you make
Mhm.
that wish, and then we're gonna end up having to hunt Megan on this app because someone's gonna see her and think,
Yeah.
This is a
that's true.
monster. It must be destroyed. It's actually me. I put up the call.
"Please let me die." You don't understand. Without an arm, I can't operate. She's just.
Put me out of my misery, I beg of you.
Oh boy.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good stuff.
Yes, Ewan, I will happily take your number. Thank you. And sorry
of
about all
course,
of
no
this.
problem. No, it happens. He goes and he picks up the crying toddler and like tries to comfort her.
If we could also get some more of those mushrooms, just if there's any chance that like maybe you could like come, I don't know, do you have to like hang out wherever they show up? Do they stay even though you leave? Like, do you just want to come over and we'll have like a barbecue or something? We could just get
We'll, like,
some
play
to,
some
like,
Xbox.
yeah, play some Xbox. We'll like get them to sprout and like, well, we probably don't have a yard, but like the like
Do not have a
windowsill
yard.
like herb garden planters that we have, we'll just have some mushrooms in there. Just,
Yeah,
like,
I
if
can.
you're not doing anything at some point, just
Yeah, give me a call. I can come hang out. That's fine. We'll see what happens.
Awesome.
We promise we only want them clearly for recreational use.
Yeah, obviously.
I gotta see these bats.
Oh, it just
bats are
occurs to me that the
horrifying.
toddler that he's holding and crying is still technically tripping. Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, boy.
No.
Amazing.
Oh.
Boy.
All right.
I got struck by
So-
lightning, guys.
How was that?
It sucked, I gotta admit.
Yeah. You okay?
Yeah.
It probably didn't help that you were holding like a big metal stick.
No, it's sort of like all the muscles in my body all tightened up at once, and it was not pleasant.
Yeah.
Sorry that you keep getting hurt by things.
It's okay. Better me than anyone else.
Not the tank we imagined, but certainly the tank we need.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm going to
All right.
head back
Go
to
ahead,
the
go ahead.
Subaru.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check in.
So we'll cut there and we'll say that we are going to sort of reconvene now over at your cool recording studio.
Okay.
That's not technically legal. And I'm gonna- so that's page 2 of the jam board.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have gotten a break. There's a chance to kind of like recover from the events, so you can reset all of your stress and you can reset to your normal aspect or fate point pool. And Tass,
Mm-hmm.
do you remember that VCR tape that that you found? Yeah. So a buddy of yours has dropped off in a big padded envelope a VCR for you to borrow.
Oh, hey, we can do the thing. You guys want to do the thing?
Yes, I want to do
Yeah.
the thing.
Absolutely
I
want to
do
do the thing.
too.
Okay, but
I wanna
first, we have to
first.
talk about this. But first, just everyone, what's your first impulse for the wish? I have to know. Like, here's mine.
Like-
we came out here because of like for the show, and then we got shit on. Like, oh, I wish the show would be picked up by a TV studio or something. Like if we were suddenly making the show like as like a supernatural show.
Oh, that's way better than my first impulse.
What was
To
yours?
turn Megan
Oh,
into a
Megan to a
Muppet. Is
Muppet?
that what it? Yeah.
I mean,
That was technically, that's always the back burner impulse, but my first impulse is to be able to transform into Godzilla at will.
mine's a Dorian Gray-esque portrait that ages for me.
Mm-hmm. Good one. Solid. But I like the whole like fame and fortune thing is probably cooler.
I like that one too.
I want to have pets that don't get older.
Oh.
You are officially too precious to live.
Oh no! I don't like to hear that from my GM.
She must be destroyed.
Now
Oh,
I'm
no. You all, boy, Megan's almost got me to change teams. But it's got to be like a pet that lives as long as I do, because I don't want to have like a Fry in Futurama thing going on.
Oh yeah. I can't. When I die, it has to die.
Yeah, because I don't want it like living forever like Sad I'm Gone, because that makes me sad too.
But like, but like I feel like sometimes you have to get rid of your pets. Like it's terrible, but sometimes it's just out of your hands. And it's like I think that they remember you and they love you, but they're able to find like happiness if you have a new home for them. So I feel like even if it lasted forever, it could be like, well, I definitely miss Megan, too bad she had to die, but like this new family is pretty nice to me too. Like that would be okay.
Why not just have you and your pets both immortal, going
That's
through
two
life?
wishes.
Yeah, that's two wishes.
I don't think I would want to be
Damn it.
immortal.
Oh
Yeah.
God, I would love to be.
And like that's so risky to me. Like if I could make the dog I love immortal, not knowing like who's gonna get him next. What if they treat him like shit, but he's got to live a long life? You know?
I think
Like
we
I
need to
know
think
he's
more
okay
about
when
this.
he's with me, but
Well,
yeah.
I feel like, and like I have a backup plan for Finn. So it's
But what
like,
about after that?
like just make sure that whoever has him is willing to carry that on and say like this animal is gonna live forever. So you have to plan ahead in case something happens to you, because
People are unreliable at best.
It's a nice thing to
I
hear
would-
from my boss.
I would only give my pets to people that I've trusted with them, I guess.
No, I know, I agree, but like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh.
7 generations later, what happens to that pet? That's what makes me antsy.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. But
They
I
keep-
don't
they
know.
keep-
I'd still
just-
do it.
Are we gonna watch this thing or
So-
what?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Muppet
Go to
thing is what
winding.
we're going with, right?
Yeah, I guess Muppet thing.
Okay.
Please no.
So we're not calling you in yet, is what we're saying. We're not calling you in yet.
Right.
All right. So you push the tape into the VCR, and it erupts into, looks like a pretty standard 1980s cartoon, a Saturday morning cartoon. The art style is pretty dope. It's like really flashy, and it's called The Latchkey Kids. And the opening segment, which is really all that's on the tape, is like the intro, the stylistic, and it looks like it's what do they call them? It's not fully colored in yet. It's just like the test thing. And there's a tall boy and a slightly shorter girl, but she's got like a baseball bat, and they're on bikes, and there's like a cool swishy effect where you see that there's like this big scary werewolf looming behind him with claws. And the general impression that you get from just the opening segment is that this was a TV show about a couple of kids who get some tools and some know-how to hunt monsters in their own hood, so to speak.
Oh, it's like
But what stands out to you pretty much immediately is, even in this opening section, it's very violent. Like there are heads taken off of undead. There's a blood splatter that hits the screen, like a cartoon blood splatter, but it's pretty brutal for what should be a Saturday morning kids show. But that's all that's on the tape. It's just this opening.
This looks fantastic. I need all of whatever was made of this now. Let's shoot baby.
As soon as it's over, I'm holding my phone out and I'm just waiting for a few seconds.
Okay, your phone goes off. Your iHunt app alerts.
No.
What?
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no. Is this like oh God, I'm so afraid to look. We might only have 7 days to live.
Oh no.
What are you talking
Rev,
about?
I'm sorry, Tass, what?
It's like
If
the
you-
ring.
The ring and watch the movie and the phone in 7 days and then but y'all
Yeah,
oh,
I'm
we'll just have
familiar
to
with
pass it along.
the ring, but why? Like that was just like a dope cartoon. Like you like.
Is it because we found a random VHS tape and it was weird?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at my phone.
Your phone is a job. It's popped up, but all of the text is screwy. And instead of getting like the normal picture and some information, you only get that binary code. Series of zeros and ones.
Oh God, we're so gonna die.
Yep.
Look at this. Are you
Tass,
seeing this?
Good vibes only. Can we copy and paste that binary into like a binary to like English translation and see if it says anything?
Did you make us watch a cursed video?
Yeah, maybe.
You don't even seem that upset about it.
It's totally worth it. That was fantastic.
Yeah, listen. I got. Let's try it. Let's do what she said.
Did you know? Like, did you have that impulse before you played it?
Okay.
You son of a bitch. We just got a wish, and now you've cursed us.
We can
Well,
curse us. It's fine.
I have some.
Oh,
I have some compelling thoughts for what to use the wish for.
what a waste.
I'm not going to be a Muppet, Tass.
That's not.
Well, no, this has now superseded the Muppet. Like stopping.
Yeah.
What? Okay. Can I figure out what this binary means?
Absolutely. Why don't you give me a hacker roll, though?
Oh well.
Ooh.
Copy pasting to Google. I'm a hacker.
I'm in the mainframe.
I made it into the mainframe.
We're gonna have to call him and say, like, oh, I wish I hadn't watched that video, and the whole day is gonna be a wash.
Nah, man, that's a -2.
That's a negative
Oh.
too.
Wow.
Yeah, like you put it into the thing, but you think you like entered it in wrong because it's just it's spouting out nonsense.
Oh, I probably swapped one of the zeros for the ones. I'm sorry.
You just accidentally Google searched your social security number.
And posted it for some reason.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh, one other thing on the app as you're kind of studying the pop-up here, there is an address, a location. So that's the only thing that's clear. Everything else is garbled.
Oh, look at this. I didn't scroll.
Oh.
Who's that?
What do we think? I mean, worth at least going to see what the address is, or I guess we could try a search on the address.
Yeah, let's look up the address and see what part of town it's in at least.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay,
Alright.
yeah, I'll do that.
It's our address.
Oh no.
Don't put that in the universe, Rev.
The
Not
call's
quite.
coming from inside the house.
Binary is coming from inside the house.
So this address goes up to San Maria K, which is kind of the area in town where wealthy white people used to live. And it has since gone down. It was, it used to be, where the Italian Americans lived or where the Irish Americans lived. So it's pretty white, but it's also pretty run down. There's a lot of car shows out there. A lot of people with Confederate flags on their bumper, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, just I don't know how to ask that. Did you just say, and I'm lost my mind, did it seem like a house or something specifically?
It is a church.
It's okay.
Okay. Well, do you want to
Well-
just do? We could just drive up there and just take a look at it. We don't have to go in.
I want to go there and go in and
Okay.
look at it.
Okay.
And
Yeah, this feels like Tass's rodeo because I'm
I
not and convinced he wasn't sure this was already cursed.
It's true.
Well, okay, so like, yes, this is obviously well, I say obviously. I mean, pretty good chance that this is connected to the tape, right? Like weird message immediately after we watch it. Can I Google and like do an internet search for this 80s cartoon called The Latchkey Kids?
Yes, you can. You absolutely can. What would you like to use to make that roll?
Ooh, let's see here.
My instinct is hacker, but if you don't have that, I would listen to other justifications.
I guess investigator would be the only other thing, or like that I could think of. I don't know if academic counts. Like, is a. I mean, actually, it doesn't matter because it's the same. It's the same score.
Yeah,
But
so I would definitely go with investigator at that
okay.
point.
So yeah, I'm Googling. Oh, that's nice. 4.
4. Oh, that is really good. Yeah, so it's one of those things where you find a message board that's mostly like movie nerds that are talking about like basically like lost media. So there's a discussion of like Local 78 and another couple of like weird urban legends that are floating around the internet about lost kids TV shows. Or do you remember when we saw that TV show when you were kids that was real spooky? Oh no, that wasn't real. That was just a thing. It's all like Mandela effect. It's all very much like nobody can really concrete pin down. Oh yes, no, I watched this at this time. The mention is that it was played in like the area in San Gennaro only because it didn't actually get a full release. It was a test run, and only in some neighborhoods too. So it was played in the Flip, it was played in San Maria K, but it wasn't played in like Ava Blue or Palo Verde. So, but nobody can really confirm that it really existed. It's just a lot of supposition.
So the people that do remember it, whether or not it's a Mandela effect or not, what are they saying about it? Is it essentially, do I get the idea that they watched this same tape, or is there other information that like
They remember watching it on television. They remember that the episodes were very violent. And they remember there were like weird like afterward segments where like, so if the episode was about a cop failing to stop a werewolf from killing a bunch of kids in a schoolyard, they would still have one of those like the more you know kind of ending parts where they're like, hey, trust cops, kids. And they were all very disjointed and they never really felt like they matched what the episode was about. Real chaos energy coming off of these memories.
Okay. Yeah, so I kind of share that. Yeah, from what I'm able to see, I can't find anything official about this show, but there's a lot of people that kind of remember watching it. It kind of has like a Candle Cove kind of vibe of like people remembering seeing it and it being really like violent and weird and having these like PSA endings that didn't have anything to do with the episode.
Yeah, very Candle Cove. That's exactly the right energy.
Okay, but no connection.
Well, like possibly cursed phone apps? No?
Yeah, nothing I saw in the message boards related to like people saying like something weird happened to them after they watched it, or anyone having seen this tape and then something weird happening afterwards.
But only played in certain places, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And remind me, does that match up with where we're going? Was it played? Yeah.
Does it match up where we found it?
We found it in the Flip.
I can remember where
Yeah.
we were. Yeah. Okay.
We got ourselves a mystery.
Yeah, I mean, like, the vibe from this tape very much fits what people are saying they remember watching of it, and yeah, I can't get much more than that. So I say, yeah, let's go check it out and see what we find at this church.
Should we take the
Yeah.
tape with us?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not letting
Well-
it out of my sight.
I mean, that is the one benefit here is that at least we watched it and not those two kids.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah, let's take it with us.
back in the Subaru.
Let's go.
Right. All right. Well, you drive up to San Maria Key. It's trek. This is a very big city, and it's a long trip. So whatever you listen to on the radio. Who's got the mixtape?
I mean,
Not
I do.
Rev. Rev. Okay, Megan, what are we listening to?
Yeah.
We're listening just like a custom playlist of summer driving songs
Nice.
Nice.
on my Spotify.
Nice.
Like really loud though, so that I can sing, but nobody can hear me.
Of course. Perfect.
I sing as well.
There are a couple of times when you are like really getting into the song where it like crackles and pops like an old radio or a broken VCR tape, which is not what Spotify does when it's not working.
Mm-mm.
Huh.
But like that, it's unquestionably like just as you're getting into a song, it hits and then it's gone.
Is your aux cord fucked up? What's going on here?
I don't know. Maybe it's like the speakers in my car don't work, so I just sort of like hook everything up to like a Bluetooth speaker. So it could just be like a speaker weirdness.
I'm waving the tape near the speakers and up in the like between
phone.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tass, I'm trying to
Wait.
drive.
that's not how any of this works.
What?
You-
It's
you-
testing theories.
It might
You
be
do
magic.
successfully wave the tape around. It does not seem to have any strong effect.
See,
gotcha.
nothing
I got-
happened.
I gotcha. I got what you're thinking. I'm with you. It was wrong, but I'm with you.
I'm just trying.
You do.
All
it
right. Okay. Well, now that you've listened to a shocking number of songs that Megan doesn't want you to hear singing, you pull up in front of. I mean, it's an abandoned church. If you want to move to page 3 on the Jamboard to take
Sure.
a look.
Dude,
Um,
God, I do.
And what is probably interesting is as you get to the out in front of the church, Tass, your phone kind of like fuzzes, like it glitches for a second or two. And when it's finished glitching, your job is fixed.
Oh, y'all, look.
And it says that.
Mhm. Oh boy. I still can't read it.
Okay. It is a 1-star job. They are offering $500. It says occult activity, question mark. Possible dangerous cult activity, all in caps. Do not engage, information only.
Have we engaged?
I think we've engaged. We're standing right where the screenshot is.
Well, I mean, but this is the research. Like, did we? Okay, can I ask you guys a weird question?
Always.
Please.
Yeah.
Did the tape just give us a job? Like, is it the tape that's asking for the job?
How's a tape gonna pay us $500?
Maybe it knows where. Maybe we
Very,
sell it.
very
It's worth $500.
Yeah, I mean,
I-
those message boards, that's some Mandela effect stuff. This is like kind of proof that it was a thing.
And if it can tap into our phone, it can tap into a bank account.
That's true.
That is true.
Well,
There
yeah.
is no stopping this. Then why is it at 500? Like, come on. All right. Yeah.
That's where you hit a road bump in this.
I mean, a little bit.
That's where it's too far. The cheapskate ghost is not
was
happening.
JJ was $10,000. The leprechaun was $2,000, which we did not get, by the way.
Yeah, but
These
we
could
got
be
a
like-
wish.
That's true. I
Okay.
mean, this could be like cursed kids. Maybe it's the kids trapped in the tape, and that's all they've got.
That's
That's
true.
all they have.
That's all they have. That's all they've
That's
saved
all they've
up.
got. Their parents took the rest of the money from them. They were child actors in the 80s. It happened all the time.
Did.
Okay, so the tape wants us to get information?
I don't know. Well, can we text back? Let's accept
can
it. We're
reach the
here.
I
just
assume
talk
you
over
haven't
tape?
gone in yet, too, for the sake of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's
Go ahead.
let's accept. I can send a question.
Okay.
Something like, "Who are you?"
Yeah. Type it like that, though.
Definitely type it like that.
Don't insult the ghosts.
Um,
You've got a bad track
yeah.
record of this, Tass.
Yeah.
If you mention
Yeah.
worms to these ghost kids one more time, just
Don't tell them.
don't tell them.
You get back a text from someone who describes themselves as a concerned citizen of the occultic world. And
Mm.
they say simply that this is a psychic hotspot and they're aware of it through their research, but that they can't approach personally because they have too many other irons in the fire. Is that the right term? Something like that.
Okay. This is either a really clever VHS tape
Okay.
Mhm.
or we legit have a job here. So either way, information. We got to find information about this occult activity here. This sounds like a great place, dingy old place like this for that. So don't engage. How are we? What does this look like? What does don't engage but go in and find stuff
Like,
look
don't
like?
fight cultists if they're inside.
Okay.
Like if
I
you
can
see a
not
book
do
that has
that.
some suspicious Latin in it, don't read the suspicious Latin.
Oh, man.
Don't watch the tape if you find the tape.
Okay, well, we already crossed that bridge, Revington, so we're just gonna have to get over that one.
This is my grumpy episode, like where I've just got the little anime cloud over my head the whole episode.
Somebody get this man some mushrooms.
Okay,
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
I
I
had to
just
pillow up between Tass and I the whole ride in the back seat.
I think I do kind of sidle up to Rev though and go, isn't this just awful that we're old enough that the VHS tape is like an old cursed item now? Like you don't ever see the cursed Blu-ray.
That it knew who to reach out to that would know how to use it.
And then Kim and I are standing there like, we fucking watched VHS.
We watched
when we were
VHS.
kids too. What are you like? We're
Yeah,
not
but we
that
watched
young.
them when we were adults, so that's the difference.
Solid.
Okay, so here's the thing about engaging with it. It says do not engage. So is that like, say we do find dangerous cultists, is that don't fight them or don't talk to them? Like, do we want to come up with a cover story so we can like back out real quick and like have an excuse for being there?
I legitimately had not thought of just lying to them. Good. Yes, I like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I don't engage. I think in every way, every possible thing that word means. Let's
Okay.
assume.
Do
Okay.
not ask any of the cultists to marry you. Just don't do it.
Don't fight them. Don't join the cult. Don't ask questions of the cult.
No promises. Okay, so do we want to? Okay, so this I feel like this term means something a little different in this world. But like, do we want to pretend like we're just like ghost hunting?
Maybe
not
we're
in
just
the
checking
not in
out
that
a
I'm trying to get paid
creepy.
for it way. It's like I'm just trying to get I'm just trying to like have fun with my friends
With my buddies.
and catch some ghosts on film.
Oh, we're like location hunting. You've got all the jargon for that, Megan.
Yeah,
We're location
Yeah.
scouting.
Yeah.
We're filming a horror movie and we're trying to find a good spooky place.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, that's what we're doing.
And for the sake of things, there are ghost hunting TV shows. They're very popular. Very popular, actually. So a lot of reality TV has started to shift over into investigating the occult and kind of bringing more of that into everybody's everyday lives, but it's not a big thing yet.
Okay.
Cool. All right,
So
I think that's a good
Yeah,
idea.
I like that.
Yeah, and
I
I think
like that a
like
lot.
what bleeds into that now is also don't cast cultists in extra like background roles.
They'd be so. They'd
Oh,
already have their own costume.
I know, but the job says don't engage.
Says don't engage.
I'm sure a lot of these cultists have their SAG cards, probably. Actors are famously impressionable when it comes to cult activity.
You're not wrong.
Uh,
Cool.
Are you going in?
yeah.
Check it out.
Okay.
All right. So this is a creaking old, vaguely Christian church. It's not very specifically Catholic or any denomination that you're acutely aware of. Perhaps of interest as you kind of enter into the building is there are some old Quaker hex signs kind of painted on the side like you'd see on barns in the American Northeast. They're very Dutch, I guess, looking things. But that's usually like a benevolent thing. That's usually not associated with like a bad thing. Hopefully. But it does suggest that whatever this church was originally, it's probably a transplant from somewhere farther east. So I'm going to tell you, the place is heavy to this day with incense. Either they were regularly using it way back when this place was still active, or somebody is still burning a lot of incense in here today. And it's distinctly like that liturgical incense. It's not like Sex on the Beach or Naga Chopper or anything like that. And then the other one, nope, that's wrong. It is creaky and old. Every movement that you make, it seems like, oh God, we got heard because the floor creaked. But so far, it seems like the place is pretty empty.
Okay.
So there's the main chapel area as you come in. There's some pews left. There's a tabernacle up towards the back where the priest stands and says stuff or whatever. And you can see that there are definitely rooms that go back. And then there's I forget what the technical term is, but there's like a porch, like on the second floor, or what would be a second floor, that's open down to the church. And usually that would be like where a choir might perform or where musicians might be. You can even see that there's an old organ up there.
Cool.
I want to play the organ.
I was like, I wonder what Kim's gonna do with that organ.
The place is overgrown.
You did it. Rev did it. He broke first.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Here's that eyebrow and the snort happened in unison.
I stand by what I said.
Oh,
This is a
Jesus.
Christian channel. What are you guys doing?
My mother watches this stream.
I'm so sorry.
You brought a
Oh,
church
boy.
to the wrong place, Lee.
Oh boy, I'll stay in the mud.
Oh, my heart.
To give you also a little bit more of an impression, the place, even on the inside, seems to be like overgrown with vines. Whatever wild plant grew up along one of the walls of the church outside has made its way in, and so there's some big, thick, ropey wooden tendrils that have grown in from the outside. So it has been long abandoned, it seems.
Kim,
Tass.
I'll give you $10 to go play something on the organ.
Okay.
Please don't.
Lowballing that, huh?
Tasha's really wanted to give away $10 for free, apparently. Kim's just like, oh, you twisted my
Was gonna do
arm."
it anyway.
Okay,
I
are you
think-
gonna go ahead? Sorry.
I
Yeah.
mean, just as we're going in general, I am just looking around to see if anybody has been in or out of here, if there's sort of path through the vines and the dust and the whatever. I'm just trying to keep an eye out.
All right, give me investigator, shall you?
Okay, I can do that. That straight evens out, so that's a 2.
Me too. Very good. Okay. You find a photograph with some writing on it.
Ooh. Hey y'all, I found something.
What is it?
Yeah, what'd you see?
I'm gonna pick it up and make it bigger, and
Sure.
I'm gonna enhance and zoom.
Zoom, enhance.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's a photograph of a rusted door. It says 203 on it in stencil. And like just absolutely so rusted that it looks like the wall was bleeding. And it says on top of it, written on top of it in marker, is "They were here."
oh, who are they?
Where's here?
I don't know. I've already gone to the second floor and I'm approaching the organ.
I want to go with her because I'm afraid that like the stairs are gonna collapse or some shit. Like this
Okay.
place is so.
Oh, good. Yeah,
There are vines
let's
on the inside, so I wanna not have anyone go off by themselves.
Valid, totally valid. As you go into a back door, there's a long hallway that would lead into other rooms further back in the church, probably like a church office and maybe a kitchen or something. And then at the other end of the hallway is a creaking spiral staircase that leads up to that mezzanine. That was the word I was looking for. And yeah, it makes a lot of noise, and it like a lot of dust kind of settles as you walk up there. So while there's some evidence in the front room in the main area where Rev and Tass are, that people have come and gone, here it seems like nobody's been anywhere near the mezzanine in quite some time.
Oh, well, that's good, probably.
Probably.
Tass, do you have your
good for-
Venmo open? Do you have your Venmo open?
Oh yeah.
Okay, get ready. And I'm gonna play some Saison's Organ Symphony, third movement.
Before you do that, I want to tell you what's in the middle of the floor.
Oh no.
Kim doesn't care. She steps over whatever it is.
They're not still burning as is pictured, but there is a skull, some burnt pages, and a number of candles kind of around the skull.
Hey guys, I think I found some cult activity.
Yup.
What you got?
Like some skulls and some candles and some like burnt pages of a book.
Oh shit.
Is that real? Is that real skull?
I don't know.
I think it might be real.
I think it might be real skull.
This
Take a
isn't good.
picture.
I take a picture with my phone.
Okay. Do you have medic? Anybody have medic?
She does.
Yes.
Megan has medic.
Okay.
I do.
Why don't you give me an overcome and let's see what info you can get for me. Well, let's do a create advantage, actually.
Okay. Oofda. 2.
2. That's not bad. That's enough for one invoke on a create advantage. So yeah, unlike the picture, is actually, yes, definitely a human skull. The thing that kind of leaps out at you is that there's a lot of like nicks on the bone, like near the the temple, near the jaw. Just a lot of like little tiny nicks in the bone itself.
Okay. Yeah, this is real. This is a real person head. It's got like a bunch of little like cuts in it. You see this?
Yeah.
Look at all these.
Do I see a knife anywhere?
No.
Ooh. Boys, you guys might want to come up here and take a look at this.
Am I
Okay.
able to determine like when did this happen to the skull? Is this something like that was done when it was alive, or is it something that's being done to it as an item being used in whatever this is?
My instinct is that you don't have like a CSI lab,
Mm-hmm.
and that you would probably you could just guess as easily as you could really make any firm conclusions.
Cool.
It's John Travolta's skull from Face Off. It's
Definitely.
just the marks where they took the face off.
Oh,
Definitely.
good call. Good call.
Although that on some level that does match the nicks that you can see.
Well,
Mhm,
I hate
mhm.
that now that you put that into the world.
That's what my first thought was.
Evil plastic surgeon.
Someone stole
Yeah.
a face.
Yeah.
Nope, don't like it.
Okay.
Good.
Fellas, are you headed up there to take a closer look?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you are. Good. Very good. Tass, can you give me an
Hi.
athletics roll?
Oh no!
I mean, I can. Let's see. These have been doing. I've tried a new set every week so far, and this one has been fair to middling. So we'll go with that. We're gonna let it ride. Athletics. Okay. Oh no. Okay. 3.
3. 3 is
Hey.
not bad.
Nice.
Yeah. with a
So you
normal
regain your
+1.
footing. Oh, I did it. I did do it. Damn it.
Uh-oh.
It's fine. I fixed it. So you managed to not trip over something that is on the ground.
I'm gonna stumble a little and grab onto whatever's nearest, the wall, Rev, whatever's there,
Yeah.
and look down at what I just tripped on.
Okay. It's a bottle of pills.
Oh no!
Oh yes.
I'm gonna scoop it up and see what it is.
The label has been kind of like pulled off, and it looks like whatever pills are inside are not necessarily what was initially in there. And across the label is written in marker, "You take them to keep it out of your head."
What the fuck is this now?
What you got there?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up and show them the label.
Okay.
Well, my guess is it's what we're gonna all have to stop taking to keep it out of our head.
Keep
Yeah, I
what out of our
guess.
head?
Keep
is
what?
this?
It or they, and I hold up the picture, whoever they or it is, or are they against it? Oh my god, is it it?
Bye.
Yeah. Yeah, that's double whammy because he's a spider or a clown. Yeah, we're not. It's not
Oh,
it.
we
It's
can't do
something
that.
else.
Tass and I are very much on board with this mystery, and then yeah, that's it. Then we both leave, and then that's him.
Yeah, no matter which form it's in, we lose 2 party members.
I don't want to get sued, so it's not it. You're fine.
Okay. I'm gonna shake it. Is there any? Did I notice if there's anything left in it?
Yeah, there's a number of little green pills inside.
Wow. Yeah. This was
Can-
just discarded though. So
Can I get on my phone and get out the medicine app, the one that you just type in the color and the shape and stuff, and it tells you what the pill is?
Sure. Why don't you give me either investigate or medic or hacker?
Okay. 5.
Wow.
5. Okay. Yeah, they look like they are like a MOI, some kind of inhibitor. It looks like they're generally used for treating schizophrenia,
Okay.
or other delusion things. They're very serious. This is not something you guys want to casually pop into your mouths.
Yeah. Yeah, these are like very, very strong pills to like help with schizophrenia or any number of
okay. All right. So pieces here. I'm gonna hold up this picture again.
Okay.
Like, okay, whatever that's creepy, but I'm kind of hooked on this door. It's like a stenciled door. This is clearly not some old hotel or something where they're gonna have nice numbers carved up. Like this looks like something like a prison, an asylum, something like that.
Right.
So we have a situation with medication. We have a situation where it might be something like an asylum. And we have a frickin' totem out of Dead by Daylight right here in front of us with nicks on it, like somebody was doing some kind of surgery. Like I'm almost thinking half cult, half something else.
I know we weren't supposed to engage with cult activity, but is there any part of the book that is still readable?
Yes. The very last page. Oh, God. Please get bigger. Stop fighting with me. Here we go. There you go. The very
Okay.
last page is still readable-ish.
Okay, which brings us back to local legends, including the especially lurid one described above. It suggested that as recently as 30 years ago, such practices were still performed, all in the name of the shadowy entity described within the legend. At least 17 deaths can be linked to these folk practices thanks to the use of common toxic plants. And then I can't read the rest of it.
Okay. There, I'm gonna flex a little and say called some mix of sciencey culty stuff.
Yeah, good on
I
you,
have
dude.
no answer to that, but Well, at the very least, we can start with checking in. Take some of this, take the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Here's some proof.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like they just asked for information, so we've got
Yeah.
some I almost said good pictures. These don't make me feel good, but we do have pictures.
We do.
Yeah.
All right. Are you headed back out to the car before you make contact with the client?
Can I look down this hallway that we went through before we came up here to the organ? Like you said that there was like possibly an office or a kitchen. I just want to kind of take a peek, see if we overlooked anything.
Yeah. There's definitely a kitchen. It looks like it's one of those kind of service kitchens that they maybe made large meals here at some point. And there is decidedly a basement or cellar door.
Oh, yikes. Friends, there's a spooky basement, spooky church basement.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a good place to do some cult stuff. Probably. Don't love the idea of going down there. But do we want to say this information is what we found, or do we want to go take a peek?
Oh, I kind of want to look.
Yeah.
Kind of want to look.
I kind of do.
Okie doke.
So
Rev,
just to make this clear so that nobody blames me for anything that happens next, you guys are heading into the basement.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you head down some creaking stairs into a musky, stone and earthen floor type basement. This is like, old school where they carved it out of dirt. And it smells of that. The incense smell is not down here so strongly. And there is definitely on a far wall a big metal door with rust and the stenciled letters 203.
Oh.
Shit, Tass,
Tass, it's this.
Oh, and one other, I guess, possibly interesting, I don't know if you'd find it interesting. In the earthen floor of the place, there are occasional lumps.
Oh, no.
Like,
This is
6-ish feet
bad.
long.
Okay.
Maybe we back up the stairs quietly for now.
Bad, guys. This is real bad.
For the nonce.
Yep. Let's go.
I'm already gone.
Yeah.
Turn around, Rev's gone.
Go.
Okay.
I'm climbing up the stairs like all fours.
Yeah, I think it's like the first 3 steps are quietly, and then we're just falling over each other.
I grab Tass and I pull him backwards.
Whoa.
All right, fantastic. So you make it out of the car in one piece this time. So let's do something a little fun because we're using fate. So that means we have a lot of freedom with what's going to happen next here. I've given you guys 4 clues and a little bit description of whatever is going on in the basement, kind of. Okay. Let's take a look at those 4 clues. Let's create some aspects for them, and let's create what it is together that this cult is doing.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so what are our 4 things? We've got the door,
Yep.
we've got the graves,
Yep.
we've got the shrine dealy, and we've got the meds.
Yeah.
We also we have the book talking about like the 30 years ago and 17 deaths and stuff like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more than 4, but we'll make it work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where does it start? Like what's the first step? Is it the buried bodies? Is it the door?
I think it's the book.
Okay.
Let's read it again, which brings us back to local legends, including the especially lurid one described above. It suggested that as recently as 30 years ago, such practices were still performed, all in the name of the shadowy entity described within the legend. At least 17 deaths can be linked to these folk practices, thanks to the use of common toxic plants. Why were these pages burned? Does it look like this last page, this part that is readable, was intentionally left alone, or does it just look like the fire didn't get that far?
Let's find out. Make a roll.
Oh, geez. Okay. Ooh, this should be like investigate
or occult.
Occultist. Let's see. Investigate. Okay. That's going to be 4.
That's going to be 4. All right. Very, very good. So we're going to create an aspect on this, and you are successful. So let's say your question specifically was, does it seem like the whole book was intent to be burned?
Yeah.
It looks like some of the pages are torn. Some of the pages were burnt. It looks like they were trying to destroy the entire book.
Can we see what the title of the book at all? Like, is the spine in?
Yeah, the spine suggests that it was like Local Legends of San Maria K.
So,
and there's a name of a folklorist on the spine. Like somebody wrote it, obviously.
So somebody didn't want anybody to know about these, whatever these practices were, even in the form of just these legends. That or this ritual has something to, well, I don't know.
I mean, is this something where we could find this book at like a library, or could we maybe try to contact the author or try to get like a complete version of this book?
Yes, that's absolutely a thing you could try to do.
Okay. Yeah, I think I don't know what role that would be.
Academics.
Oh boy,
would it be or like, since it's a folklore thing and it's local stuff, could she use occultists as well?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, okay. That would be fine.
All right. So that's only a 2.
Well, that's still 1, so you will be able to make an aspect out of this.
All right.
Yeah, it was one of those like small press local university things. It was probably written by a professor up at UCSJ, which is the local, bigger university. But like that was like written about 30 years ago. So the date in here suggests that whatever the timeline they're talking about is more like 60 years ago.
Right.
There's a couple of copies at some of the university libraries if you want to like take the trip. But they're all older, so they can't like be taken out. You have to go read them there.
Oh, well, I went to UCSJ and I still have my student ID, so
I was just gonna say, I have literally in real life watched Kim use her student ID to get discounts and like into places.
It doesn't
So
have a year on it, and I still look the same. So
absolutely feasible.
Perfect. Should we all be so blessed without leprechaun help? Okay. Good. So are you gonna take a trip out to that before we kind of figure the rest of this out?
What do we think?
I feel like we should, because like I know that we're, mechanically we're creating what they're up to, but I feel like if there's any information that we can establish to kind of base the rest of it off of, we
Sure.
should do that first.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sounds good.
All right,
To the library.
let's go. Let's go to my old stomping grounds.
All right. We'll kind of hand wave the showing your ID card and getting past people because it's fine. I believe that that's a thing that you could do quite easily. You check out the issue, the episode, the book. That's the word I'm looking for. And it's just like a bunch of like basically it's older urban legends of the area. The equivalent of your swamp apes, skunk apes. That's the thing. Just some spooky old stories that then there's a little bit more background. There's some interviews with locals and that sort of thing. And this particular article is very brief, other than the piece that's there. It's kind of like one of those, like they're talking about some larger idea, and this part is only one section to prove that larger idea. And the stories are that there was some kind of like religious group, like a weird offshoot of the Pentecostals or something, and nobody liked them. They were from they were Okies, so they came into California during the Dust Bowl, and they were unliked by the community. And so the community started like accusing them of a lot of things because they were weird and outsiders. And one of the things that they were frequently accused of was of stealing faces. And that according to these legends that they would kill people, take their faces, and then through some kind of demonic pact or whatever, live that person's life for as long as the face didn't rot away, basically. But and it's important to note that this is an academic tome, and the person is very clear that a lot of this is probably based on superstition, paranoia, and fear of the outsider. So, there's no real evidence that this happened except for the 17 dead people.
Yeah. I think I smack Rev's shoulder with the book and say, "You put Face Off into this universe. You put it into the world."
I didn't. Somebody from 30 years ago did when they cut the face off that skull.
Yikes. So yeah, if this was written 30 years ago, they're talking
60 years ago.
60 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
At least 17 deaths can be linked to these folk practices, thanks to the use of common toxic plants.
The toxic plants were probably how they anesthetized their victims.
Yeah, with which to steal the face.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, I really don't like it.
Yeah. I also went on record that so far, none of this seems to have anything to do with the tape.
Give
Just
it a minute.
So a point for you, Tass.
Just,
He's right. Give it a minute.
Can we look through this book? Is the Latchkey Kids also in this book? Is
The
it one of the
Latchkey Kids are not in that book. No. Good question.
No.
Oh man, if someone stole my face, they
They're
would
on the
just live
cover.
forever. I don't age.
Because it won't rot away.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think all bets are off once your natural blood flow is not going to it anymore.
maybe.
Yeah, where's that magic come from?
Moisturizer.
She already told you there's a Dorian Gray picture of her somewhere. Just pretending she needs a wish for it. All right. Who else wants to build on this? Who wants to dig a little deeper into the pills or the door?
I'm hooked on the door. The
Okay.
door is a creepy factor for me. It's in the basement of an old church, and it's why is it labeled like that? Yeah, it's bothering me. It's bothering me.
All right. Well, why don't you give me an occultic roll, and why don't you tell me what you think the door is?
Okay, which way first?
Roll the dice.
Okay, here we go. Occult.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, my occult is high, thank God. So that is 4.
4. Okay.
Nice.
That's
These
a
are the most
nice.
break-even dice I've ever had for
All right. What do you like? Building on what we've already kind of discovered here or come up with together. What do you think the door is doing? Face off academic issue. Yeah.
the way that it's numbered like that. It's iced. Help me out, y'all. Like, there's something about them hiding something, or like that somebody was trying to figure it out and somebody else was stopping it. Like, I'm almost imagining these opposed forces in this somehow, and I can't figure out
Why
what.
why is it numbered?
Yeah, like, why is it
And why is
numbered?
it like 203? Like it feels like it should be like there should have been many other doors, or like maybe this door came from somewhere else. Like
And
and
I
it was
mean,
like
oh yeah, like that's because that was the only door down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
Because part of me at first is going down the rabbit hole of like, is this one of those places that was like a, sure, it was a church, but they were also like an asylum kind of thing. Like, I'm going into some Freddy Krueger lore here. But no, I like that this was brought from somewhere else. Like, this was an important thing, like almost a spell component or something. Like, this was a door to some asylum where horrific things happened, where they had, like, there was some, just a straight up, not somebody that needed anything. He was just a murderer or something. And so this was like the door that they took that was his cell. And just, yeah.
Can I, based off of what Megan threw out there, what if this was like the asylum door of the last person they found who had done this ritual?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
So with that in mind, I think I want to try the skulls and the candles then.
Okay.
And I'm gonna spend a point of fate to re-roll because that's all negatives.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
So that would have been a -1.
Oh boy.
Okay. So a 4.
Mm,
Nice.
that's a much more satisfying number.
Drastically different. So I think that this specific ritual is to like summon the spirit of a deceased person, and it's like the skull belongs to the person who was in the room. Like, we mistook that as cut marks, but it was like actually like just repeated uses of a
Like
needle to
surgical-
sew on
okay.
faces.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
I hate
like
that.
the person who is here is trying to summon that person to learn how to do this themselves.
Ah.
Okay.
They're like trying to summon his spirit or whatever, and so the door opens and it like comes through and gives you cursed knowledge.
I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, so we've got some stuff here. So just curious, do you toss out ideas? What are the pills? Whose pills were those?
Well, jumping away from the pills for a second, maybe I'm thinking about the like graves.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think okay, so those are graves, so they're obviously gonna be like missing persons because they're here buried in this weird basement.
Yeah.
And I feel like they've got to be like the faceless the faceless remains of the previous victims. And I don't know if like maybe they were the victims of this person who did this ritual last, and that they're like, oh my god, buried. I almost said planted.
Oh, planted.
Which is its own kind of horrifying.
That's a whole other mystery. We planted some dead bodies. You don't want to know.
They're put here specifically like outside of this door, and I don't know like if it's like another like way of like defense, like maybe this door was brought here because it's like it holds this significance for like this person or whatever, and so like the remains of like the victims also add like another layer. But somebody buried those bodies.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
I'm so stuck on the notion with these pills of like wearing someone else's face, but then also like getting like their memories or their mannerisms or something like that, and taking the pills in order to stop that.
To like make it so that they don't take over, that you still like, I'm still me pretending to be this person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh no, does that mean that whoever did this succeeded and they're gone now?
I don't know.
Oh no.
I shouldn't have said that out loud.
Yeah, don't give me ideas, man.
I feel like I'm gonna start getting confused between who's doing this now, who did this before, who's in the room, who are the body buried. You know what I mean? Like there's too many like motives here.
Yeah.
That I'm trying to keep straight.
Well,
I
then
feel like we need to stop saying they.
May I suggest that you take the information that you guys have now so far gathered and reach out to the client?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's send him an info dump.
Okay. All right. So with info dump kind of established, the client reaches out to you and invites you to an apartment in an apartment complex that's mostly like kind of temporary people. So they live at the university or they're at a teaching hospital nearby. It's a very transient kind of place. A lot of people come and go from here. And when you kind of come to the place and you knock on the door opens and there is a very, very tall, very like Viking looking sort of woman. She's got, her white blonde hair has some braids in it. She's like stacked, like, she could flex and her t-shirt would rip kind of thing. And she's got very distinctive like tattooing all over along her arms. And she nods to you and she says, "Please forgive me. My English is a little poor. Would you like tea or coffee?"
Your English
Tea?
is wonderful, and tea and coffee sounds great.
Thank you. And she'll step in and like, it's just a crappy apartment, but it's a crappy apartment where there are like occult books stacked high. There's a huge ceremonial sword on a coffee table. There's a crappy like secondhand IKEA coffee table, no less. The kitchen looks like absolutely like bereft, like she doesn't even think about using it. But like, there's like a wealth of occult tomes kind of just scattered around.
You guys, I'm on the verge of a panic attack. I don't like either of these drinks. Is it rude to say nothing, or is it rude to say one and not drink it? What do I do? Oh my God.
You don't have to accept anything.
You don't have to accept anything. You can just say,
Okay. Thing.
The coffee and tea is what sends you into a panic. That is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
real.
I got you. It's fine. What is your name?
Methild. You expect a full introduction, yes?
Well, I'd love some more information.
Yes. I am the White Tower of San Gennaro.
That sounds dope. What is the White Tower? What does the White Tower do?
She like processes that for a minute and then she yes, I am a premier occult researcher from Bremen, here to study Here's Monsters and You.
Oh,
Huh.
okay.
Oh. So are you the person that sent out the job?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to clarify here that we were talking to the person who sent us to the church.
Yes.
We thought it was a VHS tape for a minute.
We did think it was a haunted tape. So you're not a haunted tape, right?
No, haunted tape.
Yeah.
And she goes over to a pile of books and starts shuffling books around like she forgot whatever she was actually doing.
Ooh, no. Let's steer back to so we definitely found evidence of cult activity at that church that you told us to go check out.
Good. Very good. So you sent me some information, yes?
Yep, we sent you some pictures of some pills and like some like a burnt ritual site, and as much as we could dig up about those things. What do you think?
Yes. So I think this is two things of magic, but connected. Yes.
Mhm.
I think the skull this you found with the candles and the burnt book. I think this was an attempt to summon a ghost.
Okay.
Of course. And I think maybe that this was an attempt to summon the ghost of the person from the book who initially made these murders many years ago. Yes?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then she takes a book and she opens it and it's like in, Enochian or Aramaic or something. It's like, some ancient lost language, but there's decidedly there's a depiction of some kind of ritual practice and there's a lot of notes. And the ritual looks like there's like a door and a bunch of people standing around the door, and all of their faces are upside down. So their eyes are where their mouth should be and their mouth are where their eyes should be.
All right.
I look away. I go to the other side of the room.
Upside down.
So you are squeamish. This is fine. Good.
It's just not a thing that you really expect to see. It's that kind of upset. It just surprised us.
I saw skull earlier. I'm thinking a lot about the peeling. I don't know why I would feel better if they were right side up. I don't know, but I feel like I would.
Yeah. That's fair. It's fair to think it would be okay if they were right side up. That's fair.
What if we just turn the book upside down?
That would help.
Now they're on the ceiling, and that's the power that we don't know how to fight.
She says, my best guess is this cult behavior, these people are trying to do this ritual, and she touches the book where the door is. But the face, maybe they needed the ghost for teaching them how to put a face on to not die. Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But the book was burnt and the candles were burnt down?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there were bodies in the basement.
Yeah.
Seems that way.
So the first of the two spells has been done.
Oh shit, guys. Okay.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Oh no.
Okay. So what's the last spell that hasn't been done?
They want to open this door.
Okay.
Open the door, and then something comes because a door you go through. So stuff comes in and out of.
Okay. How do we stop these people from opening this door?
Old traditions in Bremen. I would hunt them down and hit them with crossbow bolts, but maybe this is harder to do in America.
Yes.
Need your
10
cat.
o'clock guy. Okay, so gosh, what do they need? Because they did the first spell right. So they were they talked to the ghost. Okay, so why didn't they just do the second part then?
They did do the second part.
Oh,
I don't think the door opened because your city has not been pulled into a second level of hell.
That was gonna you rolled into what my next question was. Are we caring? Do we care? Like lucratively? Do we care about this door situation? That gives me context that all right, I'm on board.
I care a little
Yeah.
bit.
When it was just stolen faces, did you not care?
Well, I mean, not as much.
We're a little more invested now because
I'm more invested. That's well, thank you.
Is just is what he's saying, I think.
Because the job was just let somebody know, and if the person that knows is the one that goes and cross bolts and stops the door, then good. We did our job is good.
We didn't engage. This feels like we're going to be engaging now. So just wanted to make sure we were on a new level.
Yeah.
You are Americans and you want more money.
I mean, yeah, more money is always.
I want it on record that we did not offer that as our hope.
Didn't. Yeah.
You just said, am I lucratively invested in this?
I was asking you three.
It is okay. It is okay.
I was asking you.
Many hunters here are very poor. We understand these things. Okay. I am here to understand the iHunter and collect the stories of the iHunter. This is good. This is very, very true to the rumors. So I cannot give you much more money. Okay. But if you would like to prevent your city from being sucked into a hell realm, and you are successful, I can offer you future assistance with occult research.
I was gonna say we don't necessarily need it to be money. We've kind of made a jump here recently of kind of cashing in favors.
Kind of like a barter system, really.
Yeah, which I mean, unless we can. I mean, we did kind of barter for food last time.
That's true.
Yeah. We did get paid as well.
We got food. Nice. We had, yeah. I think that sounds great. You obviously are a very knowledgeable, capable lady.
Yes, I am.
You definitely know what you're doing here, and you look awesome. So I feel like we should definitely continue this relationship. And saving the city from hell is also a plus.
And we can just make a wish to have like $100,000 or something.
That's
right
now. We don't have to worry about money ever again.
You see, she takes up a notebook and starts jotting something down.
Guys, let's maybe
go on.
Let's just hold on to that till later.
Keep that a family discussion, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
What if we steal the door?
Oh, not open the door. But
just blast it out of the wall and take it.
Oh, I like loopholes.
So are we thinking that whatever's behind the door isn't actually behind the door?
I guess I'm assuming that if like hell is on the other side of that door, the metal door is not stopping it.
Oh no, hell is not on the other side of the door until the ritual is completed.
Oh,
yeah, so if it's an important part of the ritual,
eliminate the door.
I like that. If that's possible, I like that.
This is the picture of the door. She holds up the picture that you sent her.
Yeah.
Very heavy door.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a very slight lady, but
yeah, that's true. I thought like, oh, okay.
What?
We don't know you, but I love your title, so I'm just gonna talk openly in front of you because I think that's super cool. I would love to be trained like the White Tower. Anyway. The door is metal. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could transmute the door into something else, like wood.
Oh, you studied the occult arts.
Yes, and then we just destroy it.
Oh, just
Oh.
like burn it?
Ooh.
Yeah, like oh, it's cotton now. Whoosh.
Is it?
Oh, it's
Ooh.
wood.
I wonder if it's like magic though. So if it's magic metal now, would it be magic cotton then?
I mean, it's worth a shot. I think this is a really good idea, Rev.
I mean, if it is magic cotton, yes, Kim is slight, but she's probably strong enough to help us carry magic cotton.
My
got pretty good upper
understanding is
body
that the
strength.
door is only significant once it the door must be selected from a place of a great tragedy. And it can be, but you can do it anywhere, and it's not magical until the ritual is performed.
So we'd have to like keep checking the spot to make sure that they don't bring new doors.
That's true. Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Hmm.
Okay, so then what's the what are we missing as far as cutting the head off the snake?
I mean, just finding the cultists and
Yeah.
like our friend the White Tower said, just sticking some crossbow bolts in their necks.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
quick way to just stop the ritual from ever happening.
Because anything else is just delaying the ritual from happening, probably.
Yeah.
So are they getting the faces now? When
I
would they-
think they already have
I
the
think they
faces.
already got
my
the
friend.
faces.
Oh, they already have the faces. And so we do think that these are just regular people?
I think they once were.
Yeah, I mean they were
Hmm.
until they've done.
Because I don't have just people on my list and hadn't even thought of that. That's pretty good.
the most dangerous
Oh
game.
boy, she takes some other notes.
The way that Tass said, "Oh, they already have the faces," made it sound like someone just sat down with napkins. It was like, "Oh, someone already got the napkins. I'm sorry." Oh, they already got the faces. Okay, that's
Oh,
fine.
you brought the
Oh, they already-
popcorn.
you already have your-
Oh my god.
You
They
already got-
left. There's a
Okay.
few extra in the bag.
But okay, so yeah, maybe this is okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
We go, we fuck up the door.
Okay.
Then we stake out and we wait for the cultists to show up so then we know who they are.
Ambush.
Because then it's not like they're going to go in there and be like, what the hell are our rituals? And they're going to come out and they're going to be like angry, maybe distracted so they won't notice us watching them to see who they are.
You know what you could transmute it into
Hmm.
is a piece of cardboard that looks like the painted door. It just looks exactly like the door, like on a movie set or something. You know how it's like you look at it, it's like, oh, that's an army truck, but then you go, oh, it's cardboard.
I can only change the composition, so like it would still be a cardboard door, so it would probably still work because it would technically be a
Oh.
door still.
Yeah, okay.
Because we want to move it. I like that though,
I
Tass.
really
Yeah, that's
like
fair.
this
Yeah,
idea. Okay.
Okay, so crossbow bolts. Now, are you saying crossbow bolts because that's your preferred weapon of choice, or
I think that's her flavor.
okay.
She taps on the wall where
Mhm.
she has a bitchin' looking like if you imagine what a medieval werewolf hunter would be carrying, it's that. It's a big giant almost not trebuchet, but it's very very big. And it's very very used, and she looks very very proud of it.
I'm a little more partial to this sword. Definitely dig that though. Okay, so we could just
Whatever fatal weapon of choice, I'm pretty sure.
'cause they were once people.
Hmm.
What are they now?
I don't know. It depends on how far they are along in their path.
Okay.
What abilities might they have now that we should look out for?
It will look to you like the magic your friend has, but outside. The short version. Think that you are in a world that is a bubble. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And think of another universe, another reality is in a bubble, and when they touch, there is a plane between the two. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Outside of those bubbles is nothing that should exist. Sometimes things from outside of those bubbles reach into people from here.
Oh.
Or sometimes people here
okay.
reach to beings outside of those bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot exist in our reality. They hate existence. And when they come, they infest and destroy.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
So like
Dope.
like old god kind of.
Some have called them this, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Outsiders.
Yeah,
Yeah, there we
outsiders.
go.
That's a
So
good. Okay.
magic as we know it, but with the outsider skin, with the outsider DLC.
Mm.
Okay.
She nods, but you can tell she has no idea what you meant.
Yeah, okay. I can yeah, we can fuck with that.
Okay,
So-
go.
Yeah, I mean, just as far as we're gonna do that, we're gonna take this, we're gonna more or less do ambush. That's kind of the theme here, right?
I mean, I would like to assume that even though they have upside down faces, their heads will still come off with a machete as good as any
The
other head.
heads usually come off. Yeah.
I have yet to meet a monster that cannot be destroyed by taking its head off.
Well,
No, I can think of 2 exceptions.
Okay, I was gonna say this is why I make the lists.
I would love at some point, not now, maybe when we come back, to get those 2 names, just for future reference.
No, sir, of course.
Thank you.
So what's this ambush? Anti-magic field, something like that?
I think you're thinking of like a thing in a video game.
I know, but my God, the things we've discovered even in the last couple weeks.
I can change like the composition, and I can do the Kamehameha. Other than that, like that's it.
Okay.
I don't know if
those are
there's an
amazing.
anti-magic field.
I don't either, but
Other than breaking the jaw. In this case, remember the jaw might be at the top compared to what we just encountered.
again,
God.
just saying everything will come off if you take a machete to their neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't do a spell if you don't have a head.
You Highlander that stuff. It always works.
Yeah.
Would you like to take a moment to do one action each of prep for whatever you're going to do next?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so Rev, you had talked about like stealing the door and then like laying somewhere in ambush. Where would we want to do that? Like the kitchen area, like where, or the like top of the stairs, so we can kind of bottleneck them as they come back out of the basement.
Yeah, and like anybody who feels like they're gonna do something from range could be up by the organ.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, I'm not even thinking steal the door as much as destroy it now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, we could definitely destroy it, but if we're planning on taking these folks out, that's going to be the tricky part, I think.
Oh, sure. Like I'm just something to get them riled up and distracted. So when they come back up the stairs, they're all pissed off because their ritual's destroyed.
I feel like I'm more distraction guy. I think I'm more that. I'm not sure what yet.
I could probably
walk up to them and start telling them about the last adventure, and they'll be so confused.
Look, I don't really love the odds of 5-on-1, just me with a machete. So we can try to even that out a little bit.
Okay. Oh.
I can try and set something up so that we can watch them go down, and then I can try and set something up to like contain them.
Okay.
Or you know what I mean? Like kind of corral them to where a position that we would want them. I could try to set something up like that.
Yeah, I mean, even if you could only trap like just like a handful of them, that's still better than all at once.
Okay.
If you could lure some of them out into the church proper, I could probably drop that organ on them.
I am thinking what I can do is basically I can route them where I want them.
Okay.
That's what I can do. So you tell me where you want them to end up, and I will get them there.
Yeah. Like at the altar underneath the organ.
Okay.
Would be awesome.
Okay. I might need a hand setting it up quickly, but I think I can do that.
Okay.
The Viking, she was off like looking into books, and she goes, yes, of course, the moon. Generally, because the moon is so closely tied to our reality and the magic here, these sorts of cult activities cannot happen when the moon is visible. So your next new moon, where the moon she is hidden,
Mhm.
is in 3 days.
Okay.
Okay.
That's more time than I thought we
That is
had.
more time than I thought.
Awesome.
Nice.
What could we use this time for? How could we better prepare?
Well, that would give us a lot of time to set up whatever you're planning on doing with the trap.
I mean,
Yeah.
we can't really do that until they're downstairs.
Yeah, but at the very least, we could do some setup. I mean, not literally here, and I'm like really focusing to say that. Not literally here, but we could set up a whole lot of paint cans on strings in that place.
Yeah, we could set up some other traps. The thing that I'm thinking now is going to be a quick in the moment thing, unfortunately, because otherwise they'll be absolutely tipped off. But we could probably set up some other ambush things that could be hidden a little better.
Yeah, and I could destroy the door now and have a couple days to rest up from that exertion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even maybe one of us, I will volunteer if there's not anything more specific for me to research. Like, are they going back to check on this place? Are they patrolling this place? Hell, are they in that room? Are they behind the door right now, waiting to come out and do this?
How
Mm.
many
I mean, they
of
could
them are there?
be there already.
Mhm, mhm.
So
So
someone is
just-
going to stake out.
Mhm.
Yes. Someone is going to destroy the door.
Yeah.
Someone is going to trap the place. And someone is going to prepare herself for having to kill them when it comes to that day,
I guess so.
I guess. Time for arm day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then let's do a general of each of you do one roll to set that up, and we'll kind of see where we're going from there. Tass, let's start with you to see kind of what are the cultists' activities like around the church.
Okay, what would we say? Probably investigate?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. God, this is the most break-evenest. That is a 2.
That is a 2. That's still a success. From what you can tell from observing, like for basically like a full day, you sit there and eat chips and watch. Seems like they are staying clear away from the place. Strategically, that might make sense because they don't want to draw a lot of attention and run the risk of anyone trying to interrupt the thing.
Okay. All right. I think I would report back that confirmed very quick sightings, but like it's more like visual check-in and staying far away. They don't want to draw attention.
Okay.
And I'll just say for funsies' sake that you did catch a glimpse of one of them. Yeah, their face is on wrong.
Hmm.
You see, I knew who they were because of the
So they had a
Face.
hat strapped to their chin.
That angle. Okay.
Yeah, I will. I'll destroy the door then. Once
Okay.
Tass tells us, like, yeah, it's cool, you're safe.
All right. Well, why don't you give me a general occultic roll and let's see how that goes.
Okay.
And Tass, if you can think of a aspect out of that, you are more than welcome to do an aspect out of that.
Right.
5.
5. Hey, so that's with style. So that means you're gonna have 2 points on this. Yeah, the metal like is very, very deeply rusted, and it's almost as if it yields to your magic very readily, as if the object itself seeks destruction, and gives no psychic resistance to being eliminated.
Okay. Okay. So for the invocation here,
Mhm.
could this be something that is more along the lines of like how they're going to react seeing that their thing is destroyed? Does that make sense?
No, unpack it for me a little bit, please.
Yeah. Like, they've set up this ritual. They've brought this thing here. The sticky note that I'm creating. I suddenly lost the word for what the aspect. Thank you. The aspect I'm bringing in can that aspect be related to the reaction the what it will do to them mentally or emotionally or whatever, seeing that their work has been destroyed?
Yes, absolutely. That
Okay.
makes sense to me.
Okay.
Okay, Megan, do you want to set some traps?
Yes, I think what I want to do is I want to go into the church and I want to lay out essentially a ring of oil, um, like in the area underneath the organ.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to I want to set this up, but I don't want it to be like super obvious when they go in, they pass it, and they're like, "Oh, that's weird." Like I don't want it to be too elaborate. So I think I want to lay out the oil, but I just want it to be like there's not a bunch of other things here. It's just like you would have to like be like, "Oh, what is that?" and kind of like look into it. So I think it's just a ring of oil, and then I will make another trail like going back around a corner so that I can light it from my hiding spot and kind of have them corralled there.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me that maker roll.
3.
3. Okay. You are welcome to create an aspect to describe that.
Yes.
Kim, what are you doing?
I think I'm spending these 3 days just hanging out with my friend Matt, who is an amazing personal trainer and also fight choreographer. And just having him just sort of drill me through, some like mock fights with like a machete, and me just being like, so like hypothetically, if I was like, up against like 5v1 and I had like a machete, this is just character research, Matt. Like, how would I go about that?
That sounds good to me. All right. Why don't you give me a roll to reflect that relationship betwixt the two of you?
Sure.
how well the training
And can
goes.
I spend a people who know people to
Yes, please.
Yes.
Makes
All
sense to me. So you can use his 4.
I will. Oh, we love to see it. That's a 6.
That's a
Nice.
6. So that's success with style. So you can create an aspect for yourself that describes how amped you are for this fight.
Amazing.
And you have 2 invokes on it.
Cool.
Okay. So that is basically our prep work. We have an idea roughly of what we're going to hopefully do as the night of the new moon approaches. Are we all ready for that?
Yes, there is one other thing that I want to do to help make my what's the word? Like positioning them where I want them.
Yeah, corralling.
Corralling, but it's gonna have to be in the moment thing, so I can't really prep for that yet.
Okay, perfect. That's fine with me. Yes.
I would at some point be just asking this: what exactly do you think? What should I be doing in this?
I will definitely need a hand. Like,
okay.
Physically need a hand.
Yeah, if Rev's got to do what he's got to do,
you can always
Kim's
have a machete.
Gonna be swinging away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't. Do we have another machete? Can I go to?
Free.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take a machete and then I'll help you. All right, cool.
Yeah, because this organ is like, if Kim's thing goes wrong, like this church is old. I don't want to blow the floor apart because it could go very bad. This is like plan B.
Fair.
Okay.
I dig it. And I believe in you, so we got this.
Yeah, Kim's got this.
Hell yeah. Swing away,
She
Merle.
looks directly at the camera when you said that. That was great.
Have I healed up from getting struck by lightning a while ago?
Yes, you have. That rolls off with the kind of refresh of the episode.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stress doesn't linger, conditions do.
All right. Oh, let's do this. Into the Subaru.
All right.
Okay, perfect.
Quick to the Subaru.
The night is the night as it crests to past dusk is dark even for the time of year, with the moon absent, and the as you're heading out in San Maria Key, some of the light pollution that happens in a city is lessened, and the further that you drive out towards the church, even the stars are not present, as if they have closed their eyes to not see what's to come. And the church, as you approach, you can hear dull, low chanting. You can smell incense even as you exit your car. And there is, in the distance, kind of past the church, into the woods, you can see candlelight as it looks like a small procession is chanting and heading towards the church.
Oh, guys.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go get in position.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So who exactly is where? Knowing that we have the main chapel area, we have the mezzanine, we have the kitchen, and then the basement. Who is where?
I am slightly behind Megan.
Okay.
I think we are hiding back behind some pews out of sight, away from the area near the kitchen.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
like under a drop cloth next to the organ.
Under a drop cloth next to your organ. Got it.
Nice.
I think I'm probably also hiding behind some pews, right? I'm pretty sure.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay. The flickering candlelight as the cultists come in from the back way. So they come through the kitchen. They temporarily kind of all stand around in the church's main area where the pews are, where you're all hiding, in fact. And they form a circle. There's about 5 of them. Not about, there's literally 5. You guys can count that high. And they're wearing, as one would expect, black robes. The candlelight illuminates the fact that all of them have their faces on wrong. And, not to get too gruesome, but the bones and so on are still where they should be, with the behind the face. So as their
I
mouth
love you so much.
I'm sorry.
It's
I
As
so
the
love
mouth-
good.
you. I do.
As the mouth moves as they chant, you see like the eyeballs in the skull, and the eye holes just show you like teeth because of the placement. It's not great.
Oh, no.
Disagree. I think this is.
I don't know why I'm less grossed out.
Now? Oh, good.
Now?
Okay.
I don't know why either.
They are chanting. It's it's weird. It's it's blasphemous. Every instinct in your body tells you that the words that they are saying should not be, and that you should not even be hearing them.
Good.
But here we are. At one point, one of the men, he stops to, or one of the people, he stops to say that, everything is prepared for the ritual. We have corrupted this holy place. We have prepared for our Dark Lord to move through. And so let the celebration begin. And, they all start taking their robes off. It looks like something real nasty about to happen. About 15 minutes later.
Oh.
Can I ask one question real quick?
Of course, if you must.
How are their voices affected by talking out of 2 little holes?
It's kind of muffled. Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's like 2 whistles.
Okay. That's a good detail. Yeah.
Not the question you thought I was going to ask, was it?
I'm glad that that's the one you chose.
Yeah, fair.
Let's go with that. So they things happen. It's blasphemous, as one would expect. There's a goat. And then they head down towards the basement.
Okay.
You have seen things tonight that you will never forget.
How did they do that with
We-
the
We can't.
over there?
We gotta hurry.
We'll bring out some diagrams later. We gotta go.
Okay.
Can I need
It
explanations?
takes like maybe 3 minets for them to file downstairs before you start hearing the fuck.
Okay. like as soon as they are out of the room, we need to start moving.
Okay.
I want help. We need to pick up a side of a pew, and we're gonna like basically make like the what is it called? Like when they like herd like cattle and stuff through the bars to like get them to where they want to go.
We're like funneling them kind of.
We're creating
Yeah.
a barrier to like when they come back up, they can literally only move forward in single file. And then they're gonna end up in this ring of fire. And so then we're gonna set those up, and then I want to get to the spot where I can set the oil.
Hell yeah,
Okay.
I'm rolling with you.
I love it. Okay. So why don't we, everybody who's going to help you with this action, go ahead and do some rolls, and then you're going to make your roll. And I'm going to say, just for the sake of timing things, only one of you can assist because there's not enough time for everybody to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's got to be me probably.
Okay.
Okay.
What would this like? Is this athletics? Or are we just going fast?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Thank you. Finally, okay. I mean, I don't have a good athletics though, so 3 though.
3. Well, that is enough for Megan to take an additional 1 on her roll.
Thanks,
Woo.
Tass. Okay. Let's see. So that would put me at a 2.
Don't forget like selfies or any aspects or
Yeah,
anything
that's
you
what
want to use.
I'm trying to think of what I could what I could add on here. Oofda. Okay. This is
anything on the board, or you can use anything from your character sheet.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything on the board that I see that would really aid with this specifically.
May I give you a polite suggestion?
Always.
Okay, so we know Face Off Academic Edition, right?
Mm-hmm.
We know that they have replaced their face. You've seen it. Do you think their vision is super high?
I mean, I don't know where their eyes are anymore, really. If they've got teeth in their eyes, I imagine they have an eye in their mouth.
Mhm.
I don't know what Cyclops are like.
Yeah. She was saying that when they were talking, we were seeing just the flash of their eyes in the mouth.
Yeah.
So
as long
you
as they're screaming, they have great vision.
well, you can kind of guess then, like where their vision is limited by that. So you might be able to kind of like place them in a way that they can't even really see that they're being corralled, for example.
Yeah, that works. That works great. Okay,
Okay,
so
grab that invoke.
I'll grab that invoke. Cool.
Okay, all right. So then you can create with that. You get a new aspect for the corral or the funnel.
I love it.
My voice is not cooperating with me this evening.
No,
Great.
poor thing.
It's okay, no problem. We're gearing up for the end here, so that's all good. And the end in this case is 5 very angry, very naked, very upside down faced men charging up from the basement, trying to figure out what's going on.
I had envisioned them putting their clothes on after the fact, but
Why?
no,
Why bother?
Why bother?
I don't know. Years of childhood shame, I guess it's my impulse.
And this is why you're not in a cult.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, they're charging. Let's say there's a particularly hirsute fella who's at the front. He was the one who gave most of his the announcements as to what's going on. He seems to be in charge. I'm sorry, what? No.
I thought you were talking about my positioning in the.
Yes, we said not to join the cult. That's engaging.
Sorry.
Damn it.
I mean, you guys are officially engaging at this point, I think.
Yeah,
I
think
we
I'm
are,
engaging.
Yeah, and he's running out, and the only person I guess he can see kind of is Megan. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's running towards Megan, but like he stumbles and hits into the things as the pews as he goes. So, what shall we do?
Not my Megan. I want to run out and try to take this guy's head off.
All right, go give me a big old attack roll.
Okay. And then I want to invoke my selfie work wives. This person cannot
Nice.
harm my work wife.
Of course.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
And
Char would be so pissed.
yeah. And so that is good. A 7.
Nice.
Very nice. Okay. So here's my question to you. No, hold on. Sorry.
My hero.
Okay. I'm so good at rolling dice. I'm the best ever. Okay. You see Kim leap to the rescue as this hairy motherfucker is running right at Megan.
Can't let that happen.
And Kim, like, just her machete just goes through the guy's neck like butter. You watch as it kind of like flies off, laughing, and keeps laughing as it hits the ground. And from his neck, not black. I want to say that. Sort of like oil slick tendrils come out and start like flailing all around from the inside of his neck, and somewhere his head is still laughing. They've got a greenish rainbow shimmer to them, and there is again this decided feeling of this does not belong within my reality. This is impossible.
I think we found a third thing to add to the list.
Oops. For what it's worth, as soon as the first one is revealed, the other 4 of them, their heads start to kind of explode. Faces snap off, and like one hits a wall and slides to the ground.
Oh hell no!
And more of these oily tentacles spring out of their necks, and they start swaying with the sudden weight of these new tendrils coming out of their shoulders.
Okay, let's try fire.
That a girl.
Yeah, I want to make sure Kim's in the clear first, but as soon as I can. Oh man, I almost blacked out for a second. As soon as I can light this circle on fire, then yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna try contain them.
Yeah, and this is the way that initiative works. Basically, it favors the bold. So if you are taking the initiative here, just as Kim did earlier, Megan, you can make your roll.
Okay.
Do it.
Okay. Oh gosh, what am I rolling for this?
Maker?
I think it's be maker.
'Cause we wanna
You're
see how
setting off
successful
something
it
that
is.
you
Yeah, I
set up.
set it up already. 3.
3. Okay. Are you gonna? I mean, grab some stuff off that board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do some stuff.
Not yet. Burning ring of fire.
Yes. Okay, so that's 5 now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You want to get it up to 7 just to see what happens?
Yeah. Yeah, she does.
Yeah, I do.
Somebody asks you if you're a god.
What is? And you broke it.
Just they're agitated because their ritual has been.
Oh
like,
yeah.
they're flustered and angry.
Then I will use that kind of discombobulation of them not knowing what's going on, to get this fire lit up around them before they can move.
Okay.
And up to 7.
Okay. So 7 is a tremendous amount of distraction, shall we say? And so you've got 5-ish tentacle-headed, flaming, naked cultists.
Wow.
In a circle of fire. The only thing is, like, they're definitely being harmed. You can see their skin is boiling. The smell is not great. So much hair. And
It's the worst Mad Lib ever.
but they're not like stopped by being on fire. They're still now, and in fact, like they can kind of like they're kind of trying to move through the flames, like, oh, what's a little bit more on fire than I already am. So they're still kind of moving around, and they're kind of like trying to figure out where you all are.
Was that roll creating an advantage, or is that an attack? What was it?
That was an attack. That was an attack.
Okay. Well, let me look at something really quick. So one of my things that I get for being operative is when you get a good attack roll, you can spend a fate point to seal in that roll. Resolve the
Yes.
attack like normal, but jot down the total you got after all invokes and skills and everything are added in. At any time in the same game session when you're making a defend action, you can opt to spend that saved up roll and use it instead of your defend action. You can do
Nice.
this after you roll, just like with an invoke, but it replaces the roll result instead of adding to it. So I'll go ahead and spend
Hell
fate point
yeah.
to make that.
Banger. All
Do
right.
it.
Well, then let's use that flex. Shall we say one of them nearby lashes a tendril out directly at you?
Sure.
Cool. Okay. And they do have the edge for now. Not that it matters. Okay. Can you defend against, let's say, 6?
Ooh.
Okay. I mean, I rolled a 7, right? So I get to just
Mhm.
use that 7.
Yeah, you can just hand wave it as you like. Yeah. So just to kind of give this the cinematic view here is the fire is kind of like engulfed them. They're flailing, their head tendrils are flailing around, and one of them like pulls out a very long tendril with like a kind of a paw on the end, all suckers and everything, and it flails and slaps like it's gonna like slap and take Megan's head right off her shoulders, but the body kind of gives out, like the flames kind of move up the body, consuming it and just kind of like sparking even higher because of the oily surface of the tendril. So like it's like you can watch it kind of burn away right as it only hits you with ash from what should have been the tendril slap.
Ooh.
Okay.
So we're now down to 4 flaming bad guys. Who would like to engage next? Rev?
Um,
That-
Yeah, I want to know stuff.
yeah,
I haven't used my know stuff yet.
that's fair.
So, because these creatures like hate existence, like they
Mhm.
want to not be, they hate life.
Yes.
Something that is very harmful to them is coming into physical contact with each other. Like not the people, but the oily tentacle stuff, because it's proof that I and you both exist, like that
Mm.
contact. So they
I like
don't
that.
like it's a very bad thing for them. Um Completely unrelated to what I might try to do, but I just want to throw that knowledge out there into the world.
Sure. It's true now.
Yeah. As for what I'm gonna try to do,
Just shove one into the other one like a schoolyard
yeah,
bully.
exactly. I don't think that I can. I think I'm watching for a minute because I'm up here with this this organ, and I think everybody's still too meshed in with the creatures.
Okay.
So I'll see what Tass does.
What do you want to do, Tess?
So you used kind of oil for this fire, right?
Yeah.
Can I try to get to the edge of this fire? Like I'm still staying low, I was staying hidden, and I want to scoop up like some of the flaming oil onto the machete before I jump in and start swinging at it.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that, get as much of it on it as I can so that it's red hot and burning, and swing at the closest one.
All right. I would lean towards Maker, but if you can justify something else.
That or maybe just it's still not much of a. It's only a boost of 1, but athlete to get
Yeah.
close enough to the fire to do it safely while still maintaining that action.
Sure, only because there's not a Girl Scout rule skill, and don't think I didn't fight to have one.
Mhm.
Outstanding. Okay. That is a 2.
That's a 2. All right, that's enough to make an aspect. So you have an aspect with 1 invoke, and it is, I don't know, flaming machete.
Okay. I'm gonna put that on here. Oh, I grabbed a thing instead. Oh God, I moved something. Christ.
What have you done?
All right.
Okay, so that puts us back kind of at the top of an initiative cycle. But I'm gonna go ahead and have, I think I said there are 4 cultists remaining.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of them is again going to basically I'm gonna have each one of them take one of them. Well, they can't hit Rev.
Mm.
So the rest of you are all gonna do 1 dodge, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So not Kim. Yeah, Kim. Kim, go ahead and give me a defend. You want to? Yeah, go ahead and give me a defense. Sorry.
Okay. Hey guys, remember when I got bit by a zombie, but then it all worked out okay? Hopefully this is another situation where it will also eventually work out okay.
Oh no.
So I'm invoking that selfie as well. So that's a 2. Is there any other aspects I can use? Can I want to spend an aspect to invoke spend a fate point to invoke my aspect. Quintuple threats. I'm very very light on my feet.
That's
and
right.
so that's going to be that's a 6.
That's a 6. That's beautiful. You
Nice.
matrix duck under the tentacle. Tentacle? Sure.
Tentacle.
Whatever awful oily thing comes flailing at you to, suck your face or whatever it's going to do, it just misses. Like you weren't even there.
Not my face.
Sucker.
That was me, sorry.
Not in the face. All right, cool. So Tass, how about you give me a dodge?
Okay.
Or defense.
So what would this be with? Is it just going to depend on how I'm doing it?
Yeah, it's probably athletics, but I could see fighter. I could probably see survivor, maybe.
You know what I think I could probably justify is my library foo after that kind of research about the outsiders and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Like I have just straight up figured you don't want to be near the magic of these things, and this is what I should do to kind of avoid it.
Okay. So there is actually not the witch crap. There's a feat basically that if you're prepared ahead of time, you can make a small defensive charm. I don't know if you have that feat. I don't know if I think it's a cultist.
Right. And I guess I did not set up like doing the library food to make something.
I'm okay with saying that you did in this exception. I think that's fine to say that you did if you're comfortable with it. Just to remember the mechanic for future. Okay, yeah. Just for next time, just remember that you can always do this, okay?
Okay.
All right, so yeah, go ahead. Give me.
Right.
Big roll.
It's a pretty big roll. 6.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice.
Very good. All right, and again, yeah, it's like you already knew how this thing was going to go. You know, they list left before they go right. Everybody knows that. It's a common thing with these guys. So you move right when they go left, and you're good to go. All right.
Sweet.
So Megan. Okay, and this is another physical attack. So athlete, fighter.
Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I'll do survivor, I think, with this.
Okay, sure.
So that is a 4, but I'm going to spend a fate point to invoke my collector of hobbies. And I'm gonna say doing roller derby. I'm used to being able to like avoid arms and like not get hit by anybody, like any limbs that might be anywhere.
Right. I mean, what is a tentacle if not an elbow?
Right.
Makes
Exactly.
perfect sense.
Just one big elbow.
Anywhere near me. So
everybody's doing the math of that. Cool. So what was your total roll? Sorry. 6. Okay. Again, yeah, you guys are like these kids. What are they doing? Worshipping monsters and trying to take us out, fools. Which leaves one of them still doing something in the background. And Rev, I want you to do a defend, but it's got to be with a cultist, okay?
Okay. Do I want to do anything before I say my number out loud?
She held up a lot of fingers,
all
dude.
of the things.
I didn't see. I didn't look. Okay. then I think I will do skittish and upside down because this place is creaky and old. So if they're below me doing something, I can kind of hear where they're at.
Yeah,
So that would take me to a 6.
that would take you to a 6.
Nice.
A 6, sorry.
Okay, very cool. So you do have to mitigate 1 point of harm, so you can throw that on a mental stress track or
Okay.
physical, up to you.
Okay.
So one of them, it's sort of its tendrils parted, and a mouth or kind of a maw rose up out of the stump of the neck, and it opened its teeth and a tongue flicked out, and it said something in a language that once again you should not be hearing, and Rev, around you, the whole like mezzanine has started to rot, and you yourself felt a temporary like, I'm aging 10 years, but like you pushed it away. But there was this moment of like you could feel the corruption of entropy,
Okay.
crawl along your skin.
And is this like, did this create is this one visible to me below, like having rotted some of this out?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Can I jump in the initiative order here
Yes, you
as
can.
a reaction to this?
Yes.
So before my magic I've been doing force, like actual, because I think that I am learning it by what I know. I'm using the force. I'm doing just a push blast. I want to try to use magic again. I want to try to do a force blast. But having seen everyone's reactions and stuff, I like bear down, and the primal energy that I shoot out this time is fire, and it comes out like heat vision from Superman, because that's or
Yes.
maybe more like Cyclops, but
Oh, that's heat vision.
because he was trending
Elsa will
today.
get very mad. Yeah.
I know. Did you see that today?
Yes.
Her trolling everybody about that. So good.
So good.
So that gives me a occultist a 7.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the one that tried to step with you, let's say, the one who invaded you with a force of entropy, you roast him. There's nothing left but ash.
And I'm gonna. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna mitigate this damage, all physical, because I think having done it for the first time, it hurts. I have hurt around here that I've done damage because
Nice.
I didn't really intend to do it, but I was like, oh, fire hurts them. Oh God.
Right. Okay. So that leaves us with 3. And as soon as their numbers sort of drop down to 3, rather than continuing to attack you, they turn on each other. And it's like you mentioned earlier, how the corruptive experience of touching each other and recognizing their own reality is clearly just as dangerous to them, if not more so, than the fire and the machetes. And as they touch each other and kind of like pull at each other with their tendrils, there is an eruption of an oil-like substance that doesn't catch on fire, but it does kind of like shoot up from the floor, but like in the space between where the 3 were standing, and it not only like coats everything, including you, it sets the fire out. And as the things kind of destroy each other, you can see that there's now like a tear in reality, and it's just kind of open there. And through it, rather than like hell or anything obvious that you would expect, you can see a gray mist, a dull gray reality where there is nothing beyond it but more grayness. And I'm going to end it there.
Oh no! What have we done?
Oh, excellent.
Boy.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Holes in reality are fine.
Let's go watch the tape again.
We're right off of the tape.
Excellent. Is there
Hell
anything
yeah.
you'd like to go over before we wrap up?
No, I think you guys are going to do a regular selfie at the end of this episode, so make sure that you have that ready for next episode.
Okay.
But you guys are good and prepped for whatever is to come.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us on episode 4 of iHunt. Just a couple little things before I hand it over to Kim to announce some other things that are going on. We had this conversation right before, but you know what? You're here. It's late. You're hanging out with us. I always love letting you all be the first to know. We are going to be doing a cosplay contest for our 3-year anniversary. We have not yet figured out the prizes, but we're gonna make some good prizes. I think we're gonna have multiple winners. I'm thinking 3 in honor of 3 years.
It's a good number.
So the deadline for those to give us a little time to make a decision and announce the winner on the 26th of May. I think the deadline will be the let's say the 21st of May. So this cosplay will be anything from the show. I've heard some talk of people making more Baba Yagas and Koshés and just whatever you want. We had an adorable Jingles last year. Someone dressed their son up as Jingles. So yeah, we will be doing that. We'll announce it not tomorrow's episode, but the week after. But everyone here gets a little bit of you get a week of headway to start brainstorming. Yeah. So Kim, what do we got coming up this week?
Hey, so Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, please join Megan and I for Mystery Detectives Part 3 of Nancy Drew Shadow at the Water's Edge. We will finish it this time, I swear to God. And since we'll probably have a little time after the stream, I think Megan and I are going to take on Island 2 of Cuphead. With the time that we have left after we solve a mystery. So then we're going to solve the mystery of how many times we die trying to fight these bosses. And then, of course, join us Monday, March 29th at 8 p.m. for episode 5 of iHunt. We just tore a hole in reality. NBD.
Oh,
it's
no.
going to be fine.
Yep.
Don't worry about it. And then I'd like to extend some thanks. So thank you to Something Over There and Ain't Slade for the follow, and the subs Jax and Ain't Slade, and Ain't Slade also gifted 5 gift subs. So thank you very much. They're a very cool Call of Cthulhu podcast.
Yes. They're actually going to be on our Tales from the Omniverse coming up.
Yeah, we're going to be
their GM.
We're going to be doing some Call of Cthulhu. And then thank you for the bits, Social Justice BLM. And Carrie donated 5,000 bits saying that this was the founding donation for the Home for Immortal Pets. Thank you so much for your donation.
Love you, Carrie. That's amazing.
That's so good.
I got to tell you, I do have an idea for that if that's the course you guys take. Oh, it's going to be tight if you go that way.
Well, that's the biggest thing is like, when we started talking about this, we're playing ourselves like, oh, do we have our pets? And it's like, no, because they could get hurt.
Yeah.
They're immortal.
Immortal doesn't mean
I'm not going to
unkillable.
kill anybody's dog. I'm not going to do that. Come on.
That's something I'm going to put into my wish.
Into the writer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. So we'll see you Thursday for Mystery Detectives, and of course we'll see you back here Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern for episode 5 of the Omniverse Chronicles iHunt. And as always, this episode will be uploaded to YouTube on Thursday. And there's a link right there if you want to give us a subscribe, and that way you'll always know when a new episode gets uploaded. Have a good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.